Okay, I don't know. I think it's VSM.
No.
So he played for Legacy. Legacy played only on Brazilians, so it should be Brazilian.
Now I'm thinking it could also be, of course, Argentinian or Chilean or whatever, but I think it's Brazilian one because of legacy.
Yes.
Fuck, I need a clue. I don't know.
You need a clue?
Or like a hint or something.
A hint.
Because I don't have the pain. Oh.
Okay, now I can guess.
Who played Pain? It's like Biguzera
in as PC.
and QC.
Hello,
Like for
hello,
example,
hello.
okay, Biguzera cannot be, Snow cannot be.
Okay.
Okay, then
ردیف دیگه انشالله مشکلی نباشه. بچه بریم.
Thank you.
آقا هنوز استراحت نکردم داشتم بیسی برم من یه آبی از صورت بزنم یه ذره شارژ شم و بیام پیشتون آماده بشیم برای بازی بعدی.
Oh, this is me.
Yeah. Next one. Let's go next one.
Oh my goodness.
I love the reactions. The facial reactions are great.
I mean, I know already.
Yeah?
I was thinking Scandinavian, but I don't know if it's true.
No.
Okay, it's Zaivo, bratан.
Bum, bum, bum.
This is Zaivo.
Yes.
Never mind. Zaivo.
It's Zaivo, no?
It is Zaiwu.
I did not know. I only know because of the AAA.
Yeah, exactly. That's it. That's what everyone gets of it.
Amazing.
We are halfway through the first day of playoffs here at PGL Cluj Napoca, and it's hard to believe considering the two games that we've just seen. We started off the day with bangers, and it's because we have the best teams in the world here, and I would argue a goated format. Pimp and Janko are here to talk us through the next two series, but it does pave the way for even more epic clashes during the course of today.
Yeah, I think today has delivered so far. Obviously, the first couple of games, as you described them, went the distance in both of them. All 6 maps so far has been played out today. I think the first one is the one that really caught my attention in particular, Janko, for good reason. Falcons losing to Paravision is one thing. Losing in the fashion they did, that was, to me, a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we had 4 favorites in this quarterfinal, and one of them stumbled in the first game of the day. And Falcons still, despite some good counter-strike every now and again, they just can't string it together even across one series, completely crumbling on that final map of Ancient, and it's going to be at least a while before they end up lifting their first trophy with this lineup.
2 games, 2 crowd favorites go down. Is that bad luck going to continue as we move into Vitality versus Aurora? Do we honestly think that upset could happen in the Vitality era?
Now, I respect the crowd and what kind of influence, obviously, they can have in terms of creating pressure and maybe...
They've been having a lot of influence so far.
They've had a decent amount of influence, but I think Vitality is surpassing that. I don't matter. I don't care what the crowd is going to do in this game. Vitality versus Aurora, as Janko said, there's a clear-cut favorite in every single one of these quarterfinals. I think it's only going to become more evident now in the next one we have coming up. Who is the favorite? And I tend to believe that we've had the one upset that we needed today to make it spicy, but for now, let's smooth sail.
You don't even know where to begin talking about Vitality, right? Like, again, they started the year, they lost 1 series so far, they only lost like 5 maps, they've just been super dominant. The conversations about them aren't even necessarily related to, one particular match, this quarterfinal, even this whole tournament. It's more conversations about, are we witnessing the greatest team of all time, play right now? And I think there's a lot of arguments for that, really, and just another year where they have, an 8-match win streak now. Soon enough, we're just going to have Vitality in those all-time records, right? They're just going to keep doing it again and again.
It's difficult when you're on a desk because that is the question that you have to go to every time. Okay, is this the greatest team of all time that we've seen? Can anyone beat Vitality? And it's like being on repeat because there's nothing else really to say.
Yeah, it's hard to come up with something new. It's been going on for a long, long time. Obviously, the dominance have been, been a joy to watch. And the question is, as Janko also pointed right here, we don't really know when it's going to end. And I think that's the interesting part to me, that every time we see Vitality, we're witnessing some new history. We're witnessing a team that is getting better, that is building a legacy, that every single time they lift the trophy, they make the case, as Janko described it as well, to be the best team ever to play Counter-Strike even stronger. And I think, as you as well said, Janko, I think there's a lot of good arguments for it right now. And I think a trophy right here in Cluj is only going to help that conversation to perhaps even die out, because it's getting to a point now where I can't make too many arguments as to why Astralis is a better team than Vitality are right now.
And also, I mean, what makes it somewhat more scary is the fact they did stumble last season. They went a couple of tournaments without even making the final. Sure, they would make the playoffs, but only a couple of titles. But then they come back when, people are talking about Furia. Furia, the main favorite going into the Budapest Major, and they just come in and take care of business and make it look easy, open up the year, whatever, bounty, warm-up tournament, go to Krakow and lift another trophy. And now you're like, all right, so you guys did get tested. That's when frustration starts coming in. That's when players start arguing. That's when finger pointing starts. But not for this team. They just persevered, right? They just kept working, kept at it, switched up some things a little bit, but it was mostly talking about mentality and getting back on the same page on the server. And they've started off 2026 as dominant as ever.
In 2025, lots of debate at the end of the year around the player of the year, right? A lot of people felt that it was Donk, but ZywOo is the one that's claimed that name. He is now standing there. What do we think of his performance so far here at Cluj?
It's been fantastic, not only here in Cluj, but his 2026 beginning has been absolutely fantastic. I think he took it to heart, that obviously winning last season was nice for ZywOo, but there's a big debate whether or not he should have won or whether it should have been Donk. So far in 2026, as you see on your right side of your screen, he's firing on all cylinders.
It's the glasses.
Yeah, maybe it's the glasses. Maybe it's the renewed energy, because I think that's one of the most underrated factors that isn't really spoken about enough. The period you described right here, Janko, where Vitality weren't stumbling a little bit, only making semifinals, only making grand finals. That was also a period where ZywOo have labeled in an interview that he was a bit burned out. He didn't have the energy, that it was tough to keep up with it all. I think that's, that speaks to the pressure they're also playing under. Just because you're winning everything, just because you're on the top, it's still an enormous amount of work traveling the world and staying on top. So the fact of the matter is that he's coming into the 2026 season with renewed energy, and so far putting up the best numbers he's arguably ever put up. Again, small sample size, just been a couple of tournaments. That's a very promising sign for 26 for this guy.
And also it got a little bit ridiculous at some point during 2025. You're talking to them, is like, all right, what's the goal now? And they're saying things like, maybe we can win 2 Grand Slams in 1 year, or maybe we can win, I don't know, 13 tournaments in a... they were running out of goals. Like, they had to set goals that are objectively so unrealistic, because they just kept winning everything. And no matter how good you are and how good of a job you do at setting goals and managing expectations and taking time off and sort of trying to peak at the right moment, at some point you are going to get a little bit complacent. And they did, and they got punished for it, and they managed to bounce back. So Vitality, looking back, they've just done so many things the right way, and that's why they've had all the success. It's all paid off.
Do you think it's a lot easier to be named Player of the Year as well when you're surrounded with the quality pieces that ZywOo has around him? Because this entire team reaches new levels.
Here's the thing, right? We need to stop looking at whoever HLTV puts at number 1 is the best. That's the statistically and according to their sort of metrics, that's the best player in the world. For me, I look at ZywOo and everything that he does on the server, and also his personality. You have star players who take up a lot of resources. The whole game needs to be built around them. They need to be set up constantly. They're really good playing a certain way, right? ZywOo, he's good at every single facet of this game. Like, there's not a single thing on the server that he cannot do. And then you add to that he, at this point, has the right amount of ego on the server, but none of it out of the server. Like, he's not a guy that's going to explode on his teammate, that's going to, visibly be frustrated and affect the team atmosphere in a negative way. He's a guy that always plays the same. The dude doesn't have a config. He just comes in, plugs his stuff in, and That's it, just games. It cannot be emphasized enough how big of a luxury is that for the coach, the IGL, for everyone else, right? Because you don't have to worry about him. Like, he's always going to be himself. Is he going to have a bad game sometimes? Yes, but not because he's doing anything differently. You know, you're just going to have a bad day. And I think when you put that up against anyone else, yes, Donk included, I'm taking Zaiwo over him for last year without a doubt.
I also found it quite interesting. I think Flamesy was talking in one of the interviews where he mentioned that they hadn't put a lot of expectations on this tournament. So he said there wasn't, the expectation coming in was obviously, if we don't win this, it's okay because they're playing for the long haul. But then he said when they get on the server, obviously they start feeling it again. But I did like that mentality because I think it's common in like very professional sportsmen, and we're seeing it now where Vitality is going, we are the best in the world, but we also can't win everything. We know we're going to have these drop-offs, so let's prioritize what's important and make sure that mentally we're ready should we come in here and maybe not do as well as we can, because they are planning to get that other Grand Slam, right?
Yeah, I think that's a fair point to raise, that you look at the calendar and obviously you're picking out your tournaments where you want to peak. There's a major coming up in Cologne, which obviously is a big goal. There's a Grand Slam on the horizon for Vitality as well, but I don't think they should, and I don't think they are downplaying this one either. This is a stacked tournament. We have some of the best, if not all of the best teams in the world outside of Team Spirit. We have a Vitality who didn't play a PGL tournament last year, so this could be the first time they lift that trophy as well, you know, just to end the circle and full the circle. So I think in that regard, as you said, once they're here, once they're on the server, of course they're doing everything they can to win. But in terms of the lead up to the tournament, how much are you going to practice? How much are you focusing on creating new stuff for this tournament versus a Cologne? Obviously there's going to be a difference in that, but that's the luxury of Vitality. They're so far ahead right now that even them playing at, let's say, 90-95%, they're still the heavy favorites.
And the huge part of that is Apex. I think if you look at everyone else on that team, they're just sort of laid back gamers, you know, like they don't care too much about some of these storylines. They come in, do their stuff, you know, obviously love playing the game and all of that. But Apex, I think he has a chip on his shoulder for all of them combined, right? Like, he remembers every single thing from his career. He remembers the beatings from Astralis, from FaZe in 2022, you know, Navi in 2024, all these different teams, right? And he is the epitome of, and I took that personally. Like, he can find a grudge against anyone to sort of fuel him, and he uses that to fuel his teammates too, right? To instill that fire into them. We always talk about it. He's definitely put himself on Mount Rushmore of great IGLs, but I think just as a leader of men, he's also unbelievable, right? Like, knows how to get everyone fired up. Sometimes he will, you know, I think they understand him when he yells. Sometimes he's just venting and whatnot. But really, that's going to maybe reset you mentally and then sort of be a kick in the behind when he sees that his players are perhaps a bit complacent, or let's say in groups they lose the first map, right? You can so many times clearly see a change in attitude on the server. And I think that's one of his biggest roles on this team too, like to be that motivator, to set the goals every day in practice, every day when they're together. And I think that cannot be understated either.
I love that point, you know. I absolutely love the point, because you can use the point to today as well. There's not a lot of history between Aurora and Vitality, but one matchup they did have was the very first time RApTOR played with Vitality. And I bet you Apex, in order to motivate the guys today, because let's be honest, we have Aurora on one side, we have Vitality on another. There's not a lot of stuff that goes into that matchup where you think, if you're Vitality, like, how do you set yourself up for this game? Well, they were the first team to beat them last year at the Blast Bounty. They were the first team to beat them with RApTOR. They were the first team to put a question mark attached to Vitality before they went in to dominate. And I agree with you. I think Apex is holding grudges, you know, all the way back for, what is it, 13 months ago, 14 months ago. So there's always something he can bring up from history. Maybe he played a Face-It game versus Santaris one time where he knifed him or something like that, and he'll use that as motivation as well.
I was going to say, I mean, more than 10 years ago, he was here in Cluj playing. And when I start thinking, I'm like, that is a lot of darkness and grudges to feed you, which would explain why they keep lifting trophies. He's found a way to use that darkness to win. This matchup, though, the Aurora Vitality, I mean, you mentioned, yes, maybe Aurora questioned them at the beginning of last year, but that Aurora seems very different now.
Sure, and it's kind of unique. They've only played twice in the span of, what is it, 13, 14 months, when you consider that Vitality have been on the top throughout that entire period. And Aurora also last year had a pretty good run going for themselves, but they haven't really faced that much on the server. Obviously, Aurora didn't really go that deep into the playoffs, so they've been avoiding it.
You know why is that, Jacob? Because Aurora always made the playoffs, but Vitality always started in the semis, and Aurora could never win a damn playoff game, right? So they could never get over that first hurdle to meet Vitality.
Exactly, and that's the point, right? You are looking at a team that has had a habit in the beginning of 25 of making the playoff, but they've been struggling so much to get the victories in the playoff, let alone to face the likes of Furia, Vitality often enough to learn from it. So if I'm Aurora, you know, yes, I'm going into this game with low expectations, to be completely honest, but also in a sense that it would have been nice for them to have played Vitality maybe 2 or 3 or, I don't know, 11 times like Mouse did last year in order to gain some experience and figure out how do we beat them. I don't think Aurora had that luxury, and with the history they have in quarterfinals at tournaments, it's not looking great for them, let's be honest.
It's not even the history they have in quarterfinals, right? It's just the inconsistency full stop. Obviously, that terrible crash out at the major as well. You just never know what Aurora is coming to the stage and who's going to be in the server.
I think the problem is they were very emotionally unstable, right? And it got to a point where frustration just overwhelmed them, and they weren't the same team, right? And it can't just point the finger at Xantares as the only one. It was everyone, right? And they even lived the trophy in Bucharest, okay, in a studio, but they've done it finally. And you're thinking, is this going to be a catalyst for success? Then, as you said, they show up at the major, they bomb out, make a roster change. And honestly, the start of the year has been pretty good for them. I mean, making the playoffs in Krakow, I don't think people really expected that. They beat Mouse, they beat Falcons in the group stage, and here to be able to repeat that feat and make another playoffs, I think that's, you know, fulfilling the expectation, right, for Aurora. I think they'll definitely be happy with that. And of course, when you go up against Vitality, considering where they are now, you're going in with no pressure, right? Like, there's no expectation on you to win this game whatsoever. So it's important that they show some of that unity, right? Like, there's no reason for you to be desk smashing and getting mega frustrated in this game. Yes, frustrating moments will happen, but you need to sort of learn how to work through it, get over it, right? There's always the next round. You need to have that goldfish memory. Otherwise, you know, how are you going to go blow for blow with Vitality?
And just to build on that point, they're one of the few teams I would describe as you can always see within the first 5 to 6 rounds in the game whether it's going to be a good game for Aurora or whether it's going to be a bad game for Aurora. Because I agree with you, the emotions are letting loose sometimes. They're very streaky. Either they hit all the cylinders at the same time or they fall flat. They're almost like the opposite of Paravision, where you always feel like even if they get off to a bad start, they'll find a way back into the game. I don't have the same confidence in Aurora, so pay attention to tonight. The first 5-6 rounds, if it's going well for them, they can definitely build on that momentum and make the game competitive, but they're not a team that is good at fighting from behind.
And they also have a problem of, okay, Aurora needs to make changes. What change? Who do you bring in, right? Like, it's not like there's an infinite talent pool in Turkey. Even Soulfly, they brought him in. It wasn't a one-for-one positional change. He made sort of adjustments, and he's been great early on for Aurora, right? So that's also the problem that you cover. You really need to be able to work through these issues. You need to understand that there's not a good change to be made, right? That's why you need to, actually, when I think about it, maybe that's the problem. Maybe people are just a little bit too safe because of that fact, knowing it's difficult for them to be replaced. But, you know, if you really want to try and take that next step, I think the change in approach is absolutely crucial.
Do you think that some of the criticism about Major online is valid?
I don't know, to be completely honest. Sure, when there's a conversation around it, then maybe, but I don't really see that as the biggest of an issue right now. I agree with Janko. I think people are underestimating the fact that Aurora, at least from an objective standpoint, getting into 2 playoffs, you know, in the beginning of the season, that's kind of exceeding my expectations almost to a degree, where I think internally for Aurora, they're kind of suffering under the fact that their first 6 months last year was so good. That's when they thought, hey, guys, we're top 4 team. We're supposed to win a trophy. We're supposed to go into a grand final. The fans got used to that as well, so the pressure coming in from the Turkish community and the Turkish fans, I feel it myself whenever you predict against Aurora. You know, you get hammered down on social medias, but I think in terms of being a stable top 8 team right now, if they can do that with Soulfly coming in, a player that is relatively new to this level of Counter-Strike and only has 1 playoff game as well in an environment like this, I don't think that's too bad.
I think one of the commentators for this game felt it too, but you do wonder, I mean, they played in that upper bracket final game of Krakow, right? That's where we saw Ancient come through, which is the permaban for both teams. I don't think we'll see it here. I think Vitality will get rid of it. And then for Aurora, it's, hey, Anubis is back, right? Like our old faithful. Maybe that's what extended Major's, you know, time on the roster, that map coming back in. But for me, you know, I was looking at it and looking from Vitality standpoint, sort of, okay, if you know Anubis is coming, what is it that maybe you can do and exploit in Aurora's game, right? When you have obviously a couple of days also to prepare, it makes it much easier to do. And we have an example, from one of the games earlier where actually Navi played against them. I think Aurora struggles with some things on their CT side. Everyone struggles with the CT side, but in particular, I think it's when they lose mid control. I think that's key on T side against them. They have these 3-2 openings very often where they don't even open heavy on mid. In this round against them, Navi just did the double mollies. They're sort of taking mid relatively quickly, getting a bit deeper. The reaction from Aurora isn't to fight mid, it's sort of to fight for connector. They have 3 players towards that B bomb site, and Navi is just sort of slowly going to go for that B split through Temple. They smoke camera, and even though there's 3 players on B and a 4th one will be making his way, they're not playing together. They're very split. You can see Xantares is on his own. Even if he gets one, he gets traded. Now Major and Soulfly 2 are split off. This is like a situation where, okay, we're heavy towards B, but we're not exactly sure how we're playing it, and whether it's this way and you go immediately for the split, or you just put the danger of it, you take away mid control, then they'll try to flash outside B, try to do something aggressive. That's where you can punish them, and I feel like this is where they're really uncomfortable. So I'd keep an eye out on Vitality. How much focus do they put on mid, on T side, or if Aurora maybe switch it up for this game and try to put a little bit more emphasis there on their CT side.
Yeah, I would be curious to that as well. I think Anubis is a big point of conversation because I feel like that's pretty much the only way they can go in the veto. But I also do want to make the case that a lot of that, Aurora are great on Anubis. That was before they, removed the map and then reintroduced the map. I feel like the playing field has kind of leveled out a little bit. Sure, they still play the map, they still want to pick the map, and they still look somewhat decent on the map. But it's not like the conversation we had in the beginning of 25. I remember in March and April, I think people labeled them as the best team in the world of Anubis. I don't think they kind of have established themselves as that as of yet, which goes into my point here. It doesn't matter where they go in this veto. Vitality is going to have the upper hand.
Beating Vitality on it would go a long way to establishing themselves as the best team in the world on it.
But this is the issue, right? Vitality's played so many of these best-of-5 grand finals. Their map pool is deep. Their experience is good. They're reading opponents regularly. I hate to do this, but they are the juggernauts. Like, does Aurora have a hope in how coming in this? We've seen that they're shaky even on Anubis during this tournament.
Yeah, but so have Vitality been. In a couple of the Anubis games they played have been very close. We talk overtime against opponents. You think to yourself, they should be running over. So I don't think Aurora is without a chance in this game of, at the very least, making it competitive. I see Anubis as an opening for them as well, where a player that I like to highlight all the time is obviously Xantares. I think he's mega important for this team. And it goes without saying that without him playing well, there's no really Aurora beating Vitality, not because of the statistical output that he's consistently having, but even more so of the presence on the T sides. Without Xantares getting the openings, without Xantares finding openings, more or less, there's no winning for Aurora. We talked about a team, we talked about Major as an in-game leader as well, who's been struggling with their T sides. I feel a lot of the time, Xantares are able to mask some of the issues and some of the glaring problems they're having when he's not on his form, when he's getting shut down, when he's going up against a guy like Flamesy today. That could be another issue they have to deal with. So it's not that Aurora doesn't have a chance, it's just that if there were one player that is kind of the first key to success of even opening up the game, it'll be this guy.
I think they definitely have a chance. I mean, if you put Aurora up against Vitality 10 times, do they beat them one time? I think they do. They just has to be today, right? So your opponents can always have a bad day, and again, the lack of pressure for them, that's when they play their best CS, when there's no expectations, when they're the underdog, right? Like, then there's no frustration because you're like, well, whatever, everyone expects Vitality to win, and then that's what can make them dangerous. It's going to be an uphill battle because, I mean, you guys are right too, the maps don't matter as much. Vitality is just such a great team. There's no clear and obvious punish, and if you go for Anubis, they're expecting it. Like, they will heavily prepare for that map too. You just need to be better in some of those mid-round situational. Your players need to step up in the clutches. You're never going to beat a team like Vitality sort of playing 5v5, and you're always going to out-position them, and you're going to go into the weak bomb site every time. No, like, sometimes someone will need to step up in a 2v3, get you a kill that will bring the round back in your favor, and Aurora has the players to do it. It's just them to all play well at the same time has been tricky.
What does the style clash look like in the server between these two teams?
I mean, Vitality have their own style of just being very good at the fundamentals, obviously, but I think it's almost silly to say that they do one thing well. I think they do all different aspects of Counter-Strike well. It's the combination of having a guy like RApTOR who's constantly going to be annoying with the lurks, having a guy like Saivu who's Mr. Consistent, and then I want to add into the mix Flamesy. I think it's only fair that we put a bit more focus on him, because last year, sure, you could pick any player from Vitality. You could give them an awful lot of credit. We talk Apex in Grand Finals did a good job, obviously winning a lot as an in-game leader. Saivu, best player of the year. Messi stepping up when it mattered the most. You have RApTOR obviously having a fantastic year. I feel like Flamesy got a little bit, less credit than maybe deservingly so, in a sense. So far in this year, he's been firing on all cylinders. I'm saying he's having the best start to a year he's had in 5 years now, and if that's going to be the new trend, that Flamesy is also stepping it up a notch, then I'm losing words for where to compliment Vitality.
I mean, I told him in Belgrade at the HLTV Awards, listen, bro, you have a higher chance of winning IGL of the year than Opener of the year. Well, Donkey is alive and exists in Counter-Strike. You're not going to be getting any individual awards, right? But that's just who he is for the team. He's a soldier, anchor on the CT side, that sort of aggressive rifler on the T side, and it's also the luxury of being, the third, fourth best player on your team in terms of also how many resources are allocated to you, right? Like, no one is looking at Flames you need to win as the game. They're looking at Zywood, they're looking at RApTOR, and that's perfect for someone like Flamesy to just work outside the spotlight, sort of play his own game, right? And he has been getting better. I mean, especially on that CT side, in some of those anchor positions, he's been unbelievable, right? And that is the luxury of Vitality. I mean, RApTOR is their lowest rated player at this tournament, and they've strolled into the playoffs, right? Because this guy also seems to be having the best start of his year yet.
I think RApTOR mentioned he didn't even know if he was coming to the tournament because he was actually so sick, but he didn't want to let the team down, and here he is. And even then, when RApTOR is struggling, Vitality still looks dominant.
I mean, no other team can afford to have one of your playmakers not playing well and still win a tournament. I think the only exception is Vitality. We even saw it in the Krakow final as well. It's not that RApTOR played a bad game of Counter-Strike, but he wasn't really doing much compared to what he normally do, and they still won that tournament, quite easily. I think it goes without saying that when you look at Aurora as well, we're talking about all the players obviously have to have a great game. Everything has to line. All the stars have to match. But for Vitality, there's so many different win conditions. There's so many different ways of grinding it out. Even when we see them play close games and when we see them not really delivering up to what we expect, they still find a way to crawl back into the game. So that's also part of the reason as to why we label them as obviously the best team in the world right now, but maybe the best team ever to grace Counter-Strike. They find ways to win that we haven't really seen before.
Can they ever be toppled?
Of course they can. Every team eventually gets toppled, right? Other teams are making changes, they're improving, they're chasing them constantly. It's going to be difficult because they've just done everything right. The team composition in terms of on-server roles, but out of the server personalities too. Now, they have also the benefit of being together for a full year with the 5-man roster, while other teams have been making small changes to try and catch up to them. So, yeah, eventually we will get there. I mean, they got toppled last season for a little bit by Furia, and perhaps they're the team that can challenge them again in this tournament. But I think also Vitality is, smart and experienced enough to not think about that, to just go one game at a time. They know Aurora is a dangerous team. I mean, they did beat them. I mean, head-to-head with these scores, Aurora has the upper hand, albeit they didn't play that too many times, right? So you're not taking anything for granted. You know what these players are capable of on their best days. So that's what you're hoping to avoid, and it's not just how Aurora is going to play. Okay, they have to play their A game, but the team also plays how much you let them, right? Like, and Vitality is definitely a team that likes to be active, likes to get in your face. They're very good at preparing. They know how to attack you, what to exploit, and I think that's the strength. If they can, if they don't get complacent, they definitely have a good situation here for themselves.
We've spoken a lot about these two teams. Why don't we introduce them to the stage? James Banks is ready to do just that.
Thank you very much, Sam. Thank you very much, Desk, for all of your thoughts. Cluj, are you still with us? All right, well, our first team, they are used to lifting trophies. They have dominated CS from start to finish, even through adversity, even through sickness. This team makes no excuses. They are champions through and through, and their eyes are set on this trophy. Another one already potentially in their hands for 2026. Please give it up for Vitality! And their opponent, they were massively tested in the groups. They were pushed to their limits. They've had struggles on these stages, but they know it can't go on forever. They've even beaten some of the elite teams in the past, but on the stage, it's a different thing. Now, it's all about changing that. So Cluj, put your hands together, raise the roof for Aurora!
ایپکس پر افتخارترین بازیکن تاریخ سوئیس هستش. همون دوپری میشه. هلو محمد. دوپری 5 داره. 4 تاشو با استرالیس گرفت، یه دونه‌شو با وایتالیتی.
Maja, Apex, come on down here. The rest of you guys can go and take your seats. Apex, Maja, over here. Thank you, Mezzi.
حسن هم سلام خورده.
Apex, you survived the groups going 3-0, even with RApTOR being sick. Did you guys get the rest? Is he back to full form yet?
I think he's 90% for now. He's not full recovered, but he's getting better.
And looking at this, right, Aurora for you guys. Obviously, last series, it was a bit of a crazy one. It was a wild one, but they have been a trouble for you in the past. Here on the stage, are you worried about that at all?
It's always about thinking about ourselves. But when we play our A game, I know they have no chance. So it's all about bringing the A game, and let's see how it goes.
And in terms of that A game, I know you've got a break coming up after this you've been waiting for. You've been talking about it, you're waiting for it. So what did you tell the team before you reached this playoffs? What was the team talk looking like?
Well, this morning I just told the guys to not waste any time, that we're here at the tournament anyway. So we have to give our best and try our best to win this trophy. We want, our big goal is to be a better team than Australia overall, so we need to bring trophy home, that's it.
Okay, I like it. Maja, group stage was a bit chaotic. There was a lot of ups and downs, but you made it here to playoffs. Having more games, what were you able to learn about where the team is at now Soulfly's here?
Yeah, like you said, I think in group stage there is some difficult games, but now we are here, so it's just beyond us. We're going to do our best today. We play Vitality, the best team in the world, but we are really confident and hopefully win, yes.
In terms of being able to win, Vitality and you do have that history. What did you fix between Krakow and now to make that possible?
Yeah, today we're not playing guns yet, so it's a new things. But it's a good matchup that we like. But like I told you, it's the best team in the world, but we're really confident, and today we're gonna show it.
In terms of showing it, you've had some tough moments on stages. How do you change that for today? What can you do differently?
Nothing, bro. We just learn, you know, day by day. It's a learning process in life. It's the same things in life. We just learn, and today we're gonna try our best.
اولین بازی امروز
good luck, guys. Shake hands. Take your seats and get ready for the game. Cluj, I need to find out where you are going with this one and see if it's a little bit more fair in this crowd. Do we have some Vitality fans? Okay. But what about Aurora? Still a few, still a few. Oh.
Right.
So what I need from everyone right now, the whole arena, let me hear you make some noise!
تیم رپتور که میاد مسابقه. How cute
Can I
is
just
that?
paint the scene for you? How rough it must be as a team to be standing on a stage like this going, okay, I want to win a trophy, and you're standing next to another team who's going, you know, our goal is to basically be the best of all damn time. That's what we're now focused on. We want to go into the history books as beating Astralis in that way. That is such a different measure of success, right?
In the broad perspective, sure, but this is just a game of Counter-Strike. It's a best-of-3 game. It's about to take place now within the next 2 to 3 hours, and that's all they need to focus on. Whether or not they go down in history as the greatest team of all time, I don't think Aurora gives a damn about that. They want to come in here, they want to win this game, and they want to do everything they can in their favor in order to make it a competitive game. I know that it's going to be a tough one, especially considering the leader.
Vitality?
Okay.
I'm very surprised they did it again, man. I don't know why. I think
Inferno
Apex is crazy. Like, I get it that they're banning Anubis. Obviously, it makes a lot of sense, but you're willing to sort of roll the dice on Ancient. Last time it was a crazy overtime game. Zymo had like 100 kills. Voxic has nightmares to this day about that game. But they actually get away with it. Like, neither team picked Ancient, even though it was true. And then in the second phase, Vitality gets rid of it. So this is absolutely a huge win for Vitality. You know, getting a best-of-3 against Aurora with no Anubis in there, no Ancient. I think, if anything, Aurora would have had to call their bluff again. I think not playing Anubis and just like in a quote-unquote standard best-of-3 maps, I don't think they stand.
Crack it out and make it a bit messy in the beginning. Feel like you should have pounded them that.
What does Vitality bring to the table here on Inferno?
Well, they're a world-class team on Inferno. They've shown that time and time again. They've been very stable on the map. Sure, there were, in the period that Janko described earlier, some hiccups, you know, where they would have some losses to some good teams out there. But in terms of beating teams beneath them, in terms of beating teams of the likes of Aurora, I don't see an issue here for Vitality. I feel like they're fairly consistent on a map like Inferno.
Yeah, and talking about Flames, yeah, I mean, this is where he does a lot of work on that B bomb site. And where he's been great on the CT side, that's where Vitality will start. And for Aurora, it's been a little bit of criticism at times, you know, they're somewhat one-dimensional, very execute-heavy playing as that pack. They haven't been able to utilize a lurker, and Major has been open about that I didn't have a player really that I could put in that role and we could play more like that. So we'll see if Soulfly can perhaps do that for them somewhat more, but this is also where Zywo is on his home turf. You look at him and both Robs. I mean, Rob's playing in pit around that bike area. He's just such a rock, and it allows Vitality so many times to cheat a little bit in their CT side, right? Because you can swing that third player towards the B bomb site a little bit, because even if it's just Robs +1, you know they're good for at least a couple of kills.
I feel like that's the duel that I'm looking out for right here. FlameC and Apex, the entry frag and the in-game leader going up against Santeras and Major, the entry frag and the in-game leader on the other side of the things. Banana control obviously is always vital in this game, but as I highlighted before, I feel the biggest win condition when it comes to Aurora is activating Santeras, is making sure that he finds impact. And he's going toe-to-toe with FlameC, who so far has had a great year and a great tournament. I think that duel in itself could determine a lot here in Inferno.
Is that enough, though?
No, but that's the start.
I think Major is capable of coming up with a good game plan, but in order to beat a Vitality with that, like, it has to be with a good start, you know? Like, what you have planned for the first gun round, it sort of has to work so you can condition them for a round later on in the half, and that's going to be the name of the game for me. They start losing 4-5-0. I don't think they have enough in the tank to come back or to do it on the CT side, right? So a good start is a must.
It's time to get into game. We have Machine and Turkey's favorite Counter-Strike caster standing by.
That's right. He's actually standing right next to me. It's great to have you.
Haven't learned any Turkish yet. Still working on that. But I'm glad they love me now.
Yeah, step by step. But I do think...
Ending relation.
If you want to summarize the desk sentiment, Chad, is that we could have a quick one here.
Yeah, I think it's seeing if Aurora get over the stage fright. And if they can, maybe it's slightly competitive. Looking at their run, they haven't beaten anybody good to get to this stage. So that's troublesome.
Make no mistake, not a single Counter-Strike player in this world wakes up on Playoffs Friday and goes, oh, great, we're playing Vitality.
Yes. I accidentally referred to them as Astralis earlier, talking about it. But yeah, because this team, the level of greatness, they're there right now. And Apex sites say if they win this one, 18 consecutive top fours, one away from Astralis' record, tying things up.
I mean, at this point, they're so used to you know, make it all the way to Sunday and lifting the trophy, they're setting additional goals.
Yeah.
They're looking, they're
legacy
that
setting.
Hunger. Legacy, absolutely. And we're going to get that legacy started for our quarter-final. Aurora, what kind of fight are they going to be putting up across this series? Quarter-final number 3, live from Cluj Napoca, Romania. Matt just got his game plan. Janko saying that if you get the first pistol, you get the first gun, as cliche as it may be, it's true. And I echo the sentiment that if this doesn't start positively for Aurora, I don't know if they have the capacity to dig themselves out of it. I think Janko's right. An important pistol with a lot riding on it. You've got to get past Zywu if you go abs.
Yeah, and now RApTOR knows they're behind him. So do they clear window room?
That's a good question. I'm not sure they will. They're going to try and channel straight past. Antares loses his head. RApTOR was overlooked, and covering fire from Mezzi's solid. Backstab from RApTOR. He's a ghost. Nobody acknowledging his presence in the apartments. Soulfly's already in sight. In the meantime, Madja's trying to kill out RApTOR. No way! The 1 HP, one-tap swing. Newest name in that Aurora jersey, Soulfly. Getting his stage reps in.
They're going to need the Madja there addressing, hey, every time we go out there, it's a learning experience. Very few stage game wins to note for this team as Apex put the bullet between the eyes. That's all 5 staying alive. I think I would encourage everybody to maybe just sit back and enjoy. Right? You have a tough time seeing teams like this come around, right? It's not too often, and when they're on your screen, they're playing solid Counter-Strike. Just bask in the glory of greatness.
100%. I mean, there are people who are going to be talking about, oh yeah, I saw Vitality in their prime. Yeah, I was there when they did that.
It's going to be the force for Aurora. Couple Tech-9s.
ببینیم فرزاد من فیزی.
Santaras and a slow roll. I think one of the biggest issues you're going to have against Vitality is just how good they are with these combos of utility and banana.
The last Inferno we did with Vitality, you were checking
1,150.
You
چت تو دست پیش
11.5 kills in one half of utility.
زهایو اسم میکنه با 4 بار میمرد.
Not too bad. Now there was the loss to G2 on this map, which is slightly worrisome. Maybe that's why Aurora are picking it here today. They're really trying to control the pace with a slow one to the force by the second. They're able to capitalize on Flames with the jumps. It's currently a 4-man A-lean from Vitality. Flames' responsibility is to get the info block and allow Apex to rotate back over. Smoke is very valuable. He's going to want to hold on to this for as long as possible. And by not feeling any pressure, he will do so.
Also, in the absence of a Desert Eagle, it's very hard to see him getting punished for this kind of jiggle. He can just do this until they commit. Ooh, one more of those, and he gets his info.
Not the best smoke in the world, but either way.
No one's saying that.
Finish will have to come through in a moment. Now, Mezzi and Apex both jaunt over to join Flamesy. RApTOR and Zywu both go play long side. But a util lands towards A, so misdirection. Or is it as they start to slink up middle?
سلام میجر بعدی تاریخش رو نمیدونم حقیقت ولی فکر کنم حوالی
RApTOR in moto, so strong setup to deal with this.
تاریخش رو نمیدونم
Tech-9s versus the rifles. It's Farhad's first to receive. Mezzi not blind. Flashes haven't done anything. Mezzi comfortable for 2, but Soulfly has broken through.
Bomb goes down, or it should.
It certainly should. Hey man, this is already more than I was expecting. They're into the site, they've got that bomb down. Breaking through the defense of Zywu and Mezzi. Santaras versus Flamesy at range. Oh, nice burst. Shreds them. Soulfly. The ace clutch asking too much.
All right, a little bit shaky there. Bomb goes down. Aurora will have to take just an eco now with a couple of map investments. But if he comes through, it's all good. Well, Vitality, the 2-0 start. Let's talk about Aurora's road to the playoffs. Obviously, a 2-2 team having to come through in the 3-2 department of the Swiss, but their wins were against Pain, Bait, and Astralis. So, not world beaters at the moment, and that combined with this team's stage fright, you just wonder how bad it can go. You take a look at Krakow, they were drubbed by Furia, and it's tough to have answers after games like that because what you expect from the team in a regular match, you come into an arena game and it doesn't deliver. So to be able to find answers for those problems, it's very difficult. So more of the same as the last round.
ستاپشون هم شبیه همون ستاپ دست قبله.
He might get caught off here.
I think so. Yeah, he hasn't got any ammo. And now Apex is scarpering, block, smoke, and tuck. They're coming. They're going to commit. Apex eats the flash. They've spotted him out. They know exactly where he is. Triangulating his position. Overrun.
All right, good punishment now. They just have to convert this one. Sitting pretty.
Bit of a capitulation. Flamesy has given them a way in. RApTOR will finish off Xantares. Wants it to be cleared. Does he find the frag? No, it's slipping out of their grasp already. I was not fancying the reload. You know one of them's low. It's Soulfly hiding on the edge of the smoke. Crazy. He's still not going for it. Lucadia versus RApTOR can't handle it, but Soulfly does actually beat out Zywoo. That should be the round. RApTOR is not going for this. Wow, how often do you say Flamesy's given them a gap on B?
Yeah, overplaying the hand there. Maybe not ready for that level of investment, and they get overrun. Apex, no output either. And that one, leave a bit of a mark on Vitality, or maybe that's just an early wake-up call. Hold up, these guys can push back if we give them ways in.
Well, they're not stupid, right? You've just spammed 25 bullets of your M4 into a smoke. I think that does mean you only have 5.
Flamesy caught off in that one, and normally the duo of Flames in Apex very, very strong. So coming through, the flash is there and ready. Beautiful one there from Madja. This is one that definitely will brew frustrations for Vitality. You want to keep them limited, so you can buy back in.
Yeah, that's one for VOD.
It's the best buy in the world, no one's saying that.
اون اشتباه کرد مثلا اومد جلو شروع کرد تیر زدن اینا تیرای تو امکانش کم شد. همون موقع سوء استفاده کردن. بعد فهمیدن دیگه چون داشت تیر میزد فهمیدن داره میاد جلو توی بنانا کجاست. تنها ریسکی که باید میکرد آرورا این بود که حساب کنه این مثلا یه نفره یا بیشتر از یه نفره که آیتمشون رو دادن یه نفر بود تموم شد.
Okay, well, making up for the mayor in the previous.
Yeah, no, I think he got a slap on the wrist and he's very quickly righted the ship.
You get one a game.
زانتارس نظر من زیادی شوتینگیه.
Especially with RApTOR being sick.
Oh no, he's one of my favorite players to watch as well. He's just so quick as well.
تماشای بازیش فقط میتونه جذاب باشه ولی
it's very hard to catch Flamesy out. He can adjust, he can thrive in chaos. And he can manufacture it as well.
Still a 3v2 on this side, blocked for now. Set up from Vitality on the other side of the map is very porch and pit centric, so it'll be a long rotation. If Flames and Apex get nothing right now, there's a chance for straight rounds for Aurora. Blocks that one. Ooh, still going to land.
Might give a different angle that they're not ready for. Still, good damage from Madja. I think he tagged up, but Flamesy down to, oof, a nade combined. Double nade finds him at the back.
They'll be able to plant now. Rotation on the way. RApTOR to come banana late. The other three in through CT and Coffins.
This is going to be a labored post plant. Soulfly forced off of the plant. Forced to reposition. Spam back. Madja's found RApTOR. Now a 3-on-3. That's brave from Lucadia. Brought the fight to Apex and pays the price. Still good from Soulfly. He's having a round here. Double kill. Just Madja now. Playing for the head tap. Nails the first. Swings one out and he's gone clutch. He's gone crazy. Madja, a veteran, demonstrates his pedigree and goes clutch. Gets a smile on the face of Xantares and breaks Vitality.
خیلی خوب زد. دومی هم زد اشتباهی که اولیه رو خیلی گل زد.
Couldn't I triangulate how he lost Zywoo? I guess he assumed Zywoo died to the back of sight.
So the nades come in, Flamesy goes down, Madja takes down RApTOR, so now they could focus fire. Soulfly eliminates the boost. Yeah, okay, so didn't think that Madja was just going to peek him. That's why that looks so odd, okay.
It does look odd.
Oh, now they're down to the pistols, the hard work done, and that was a 3v5 advantage thanks to a Flamesy double. Things get going quite quickly.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a game.
Can just usher themselves into the B bomb site. No dramas here. Meandering over Mezzi and Flames, but silent through the speedway. Don't want to give away. Well, never mind. I was saying silent. They are up with a couple of sound cues. No flashes to plant through this, so you'd have to get lucky on some timings. And sight essentially called clear by the mollies.
Yeah, and Flamesy once again catching nades. Reminiscent of the previous round. Just the one for Vitality. RApTOR manages to claw one Out of the chaos. Lucadia down and out.
So I think in the traditional sense, with a lot of these B plays, you're thinking, okay, does Vitality start bringing the third man over and they're playing heavy 3B? And then, if that is the case, how does that play into the calling of Aurora? Are they going to look to punish middle a little bit more? That gives them the ability, when you know the players on the yo-yo between B and long side, that you can get the Arch and Library smoke in and play through long. It's something where they're going to have to flash through as soon as their teammates on A start to take contact. So this is a very good start.
Yeah, I mean, and as the desk were discussing when it comes to this, you know, this is the game plan. If you were going to hit B early and you get these early successes, that will, as you said, open up those gaps on A. The strat book, the plan, it's still in motion.
It's helpful that Madja getting that clutch, right? So there he is, LeBoss.
LeBoss. Cover star.
And some fine form to start 2026. Yet to get going on this map. So 0-4. See how long that lasts.
Yeah, you can't keep Zayu down for too long.
So nothing changing in terms of the defense early. Is just going to come over to donate some nades, yes. So still a 2-3 split with the lion's share over towards A.
زایبو جالبه که کسی که هنوز فرق نزده زایبو.
Yeah, they're wrong, but the flashes are brilliant. Cover from RApTOR, who is anti-flash, tucks on the pillar. Zantara's alive and kicking, and Mezzi well positioned. That would have been the bomb lost. Ricardia gets away from just the headshot on
Apex ready for this, I don't know.
Ooh, low HP, Apex, yeah, Zantara's has been tagged off, dips around the arch, could catch Apex on the clear. This is brilliant from A. Oh, Zantara's should have had him there. An opportunity, had the jump on him.
All right, well, Ricardia saunters back all the way through T house.
زایبو داره ایجنت میشه دقت دارید.
Towards B, so let's see this one getting too out of control. They have to give them a way back in. Okay, Apex goes down Library. RApTOR is searching mid.
That's exactly what Boxing's hoping for, but he has to hit the first bullet. Or that will happen.
Running into B, assuming it's clear. Not today. Flamesy. There's Ricardia, tie things up 3-3. And that was it. They thought they conditioned B. They thought they'd forced them into starting 3, and that wasn't the case whatsoever. So the gap that you had manufactured with the conditioning not there. Still have money for another buy. So we'll continue to go back and forth in this one. Adrian with a Mac 10. Santares, the rest of the crew with the AKs.
این ران جدی زایبو نزنه امکان داره 2-0 شو.
Flamesy out to sandbags, and Taras would have heard the steps. Blocked at half wall, and they back off for now.
So Flamesy's going to be relaying info when he thinks they're behind that half wall smoke, when they're close to the half wall, and Apex's nade has got that crazy bounce. It will land right there. Bit of a test for Zayu as well. High alert. Safe from the flash, well positioned. Soulfly actually ate the flash himself. HE premature. Soulfly, he's got Zayu. Books, no, there he is. Dips into the fight, gets out.
He's just been blocked. 45 seconds.
On the board.
It's like Mezzi starting to rotate to join the defense of Flamesy and Apex now. Maybe not, he's in and out.
Oh, they're not sure.
Indecision, they don't have the read right now.
That could be one hell of a HE. Solid connection onto Madja. Zantares got the bomb on his back. Madja, they're going to try and forge a path here. Safe from the flashes, Flames. 20 seconds, they are running this clock down, counting on Zantares. Flamesy brings down the main threat. The rest falls into place, and Mercadia finds himself on the wrong side of the map.
Okay, well, he might be, I was going to say, able to hold on to this. RApTOR has other ideas. 4-3, 1 round gap, back in the lead. Now it will have to be just a light investment while the loss bonus starts to build for the Turkish side.
نه تیم اسپریت نبوده اصلا.
Well, the arena's filled back up again, guys. Did you have a nice meal? Did you have a nice lunch?
Who's been here since the first game? All right.
Pretty good, pretty damn good. It's a long old day at Counter-Strike. I'm glad you're fueled. for our second chapter of the quarterfinal.
The winner of this plays the winner of the last game. Furia versus Mongols coming up next.
Ooh. Mongols are looking exciting.
کانتر بر خودشونه باید برای خودش این جزء قانون اصلا تورنمنته.
We saw the Tech Nines get out of control of Banana. This was
باید
just a
شما
couple
صاحب
of
اکانت
digs.
باشی.
I will grab another. See if he can start padding out because again he's been in great form. It's always a pleasure to get to watch some of the greats in the server. Zaiwu is definitely one of those. So other than the fumbles, 5v3 and Tech 9 overrun. Solid for Vitality, about to make it a 2-round gap.
Zaiwu on the left-handed model.
Could be just chopping and changing.
Start your Reddit threads now.
No, it could just be, you know, the bind Andy. Feeling it's better on that angle as just steps on out, down. I think when you consider how a couple of these rounds did fall in the favor of Aurora, one of them being the Tech 9's catching and timing, and the other one being a 5v3 where
mistakes were made.
Yeah, exactly. Question, can they replicate a little bit more? Now, we always say it doesn't matter how you get them, just as long as you get them. We're already over the halfway mark of this one. This tactical timeout called. Conversation there with Woxic. We have the crowd versus Twitch chat, one of the greatest battles of all time.
It is.
Those who are here versus those who aren't.
I know who I'd rather be. Oh. Crispy.
All right, well, here we go.
Right, let's see if Aurora can demonstrate an ability to convert with a full rifle.
Yeah, remember this is a slight T-side lead, so they are going to be hoping for a minimum of 6.
میکنم دیگه وایتالیتی رفت که بره دیگه. اصلا اتاکی نچرا بیکادیا یک هشت.
It is.
The Magic's job right now is just to make it look like a default.
دانتارس اسمش تریلی نمیشه 3-7.
Just seems extra scary when you see those AK-47s.
زایووشون فقط خاموش
Zaiwu.
اونم البته داد.
Zaiwu on Balk. Rob's pit and Mezzi jiggling for the long info. Looks like he's going to get answers soon. Yeah,
Ali! لفظ اومدیم چت.
Pixel perfect. Oh, and the same can be said for Zaiwu. Tapping head. Centaurus finds a second. Brings down the woo. Not bad from Robs, but traded out. Magic clears out the pit, clears out the site.
بالاخره ترکیش ایم
This is
روشن
looking
شد.
like a good one for Aurora. Funky bounce on the nade. Ricardia has to go up forward. Flushed forward by the incendiary. It's going to go down. Oh, it's a Zantares round.
یه لفظ اومدم زانتارس.
4 for him in that one. And that is a massive shot on Messi. He is just trying to play that for info. Jiggle peek, delete. Right, he's hoping to get that info, then Zaiwu can flash from the balk, he can peek back out, capitalize, but he just gets absolutely removed. So beautiful shot from Zantares, and that one's premeditated. This is the call from Spawn, essentially. That is quite a shot.
You guys have heard about Zantares' peak. Well, what about Zantares hitting his peak at the right time?
Some crispy ones. Right, well, if each individual of Aurora takes a moment to win a round.
I mean, right now, it's looking at Ricardia, right? Those two rather glaring omissions as far as frag contributions. It's early days. But now Zantares is here. He's joined Soulfly, found some early impact on the Tech 9 rounds.
عجب شات خودمون.
Claims he's getting a test once more.
عجب شات هایی زد.
Yeah, I feel like he's going to have to face Zantares. And this time, Flamesy, oh, he's done very well. Goes forward, looking for more. Naded out of the round. Apex, what is that? Willy-nilly swing. Okay. They just want to fight. The memo read, we fight now.
عجب دعوایش.
It's almost like a car. Rob's cut him off at the pass. Last time Rob's flanked, he got owned by Madja. So he's going to be a little bit more passive this time and let Soulfly play. Can he get the bomb down?
Ali.
Extra $600 would go a long way, but why not?
I mean, a 1 versus 3 versus Vitality is a feather in any player's cap.
Let's go fresh
این
face.
سولفلای جای کی اومده؟ جای جوتا اومده.
Reload, and they know he's not planting. Gap closes. Noose tightens. RApTOR next to play.
Oh, team flash there.
Oh yeah, he did catch RApTOR.
They will get the bomb down,
which is mission accomplished as far as he's concerned.
All right, well, a smile on the face. That one could have come unstuck. RApTOR goes down. CT smokes the lap. Soulfly gets a chance, and you never know, but they will grab another round. And RApTOR in very good form. 12 kills for him at the moment.
Which is, yeah, it's good to see. Like Apex says, what, 90%? I think he was off red left much less than that at the start of the tournament.
Well, that's why we were having a conversation throughout the Swiss stage. If you're Vitality, not only do you want to limit the tape, and it's going to be a long old season, and when you make it to the finals every single time, but give some extra time for RApTOR to recover so that he's in fine form to lift the trophy here. For Apex 11 years ago in this exact venue, playing for Envious as an entry fragger, winning a major. Lots changed in that time, and he's still kicking.
Yeah, over a decade later, and he's gone from soldier to captain of the elite.
Going to go down in the history books for more reasons than one. Setting up for another potential A pop now. They have a couple of HEs. Likely for bike, but as we can see, the radar nobody home. Crossfire on top mid with Zawo and RApTOR.
Another page from the Aurora strat book.
You feel like it has to be A. Your team has full banana control with Flamesy and Apex right now.
Yeah, what's RApTOR's play? Throws out an incendiary.
He's moving a bike. The nades could actually do some damage now.
Here they come. Double nade with RApTOR's name on it. Mezzy's playing forward though. Maybe that leads to reluctance. No, heavy nades. A barrage lands. Wicardia finds 2. Bullet and shrapnel in combination has opened up the A site. Oh. Again, these Tech 9 rounds, they're well put together.
It's going to be a save. They need the money for the last round, Vitality. And Aurora, they've eked out 5. The fact that 2 of the 5 rounds of play have come with Versa Tech 9s is great. Right, one was the timing, this one was well pieced together. And just by going through the motions, you see RApTOR falling back. Playing Porch the entire time, and I think if they stayed with that more forward setup, obviously the smoke long side causes some chaos, but
بیکاردیارم نجات دادی باکسی که می 2 تا بزنه.
Some tough round losses right now. As they say, they will be able to fully invest going into number 12.
چه فلشی اومد اصلا چه نیدوی.
The round is what they were looking for, so very well done. Some fight being put up right now by Aurora. Can eke out that 6 and get the pistol. They're still in the conversation. So guns are being juggled. Zawo can drop one across to Zio RApTOR to make sure they can get out all the goods. Everyone should be fine. There won't be any issues in that department.
جدا ترسناک بود. آخه فلشه خیلی کمباش قشنگ اومد که بعد اون نیدا کار کنه.
Time out before we make it to the halftime break. So he wants to make sure they walk away with the lead on this one.
جذاب‌تر بود. مثل که رفتیم 6-6. 8-4 کنسل. ولی از طرفی هم این آقای Soulfly
paints the picture of Aurora's wet, you know, eking it out. I think he used that word.
سیستش میخوره ریلکس باشه. خیلی استرس خیلی فشار انگار روشه.
I wonder if Vitality want to be a little bit more aggressive to not let them execute.
Yeah, we haven't seen any like pushes down mid, any crazy.
تجربه نداشتنش توی تورنمنت‌های تیر اس داره اذیتش کنه خورده. تو داره بازی هم میکنه خوب داره میزنه. ولی خب اسمم خیلی داره استرس تحمل میکنه. کیک نه. بچه چند نفر اینجا
quite audacious to just hang out at the front of the smoke.
به اصطلاح علاقه دارن که کیک لایف شین.
Yeah, they were ready to capitalize with a pack of 4 there, and it's discussed how Major has to run a lot of this, a lot of 4-1s. To really have the pieces to be able to play Control game the same as the others. Here they come.
Yeah, Zentaris' anti-flash, he is designed for this. Quick reaction. Roxic on the half wall in combination with Zentaris. They catch him. They bring the fight to Aurora and pay the price. Solid nade, though. Is a ring in. Bro, they break the smoke, and Apex tries to go for the double spray. Somehow, some way, Zentaris survives that endeavor.
Eyes on Soulflight.
No, no, ace closed. You'd think. How has Rops' frag not deterred them? Are they reading Rops' reaction?
They think there's still, like, obviously a player still on A, right? And Rops is assuming, well, because I've shown myself, they're likely to stick to this B play against Zaiwu. Well, they're going to be up. It's an open runway. Rops will struggle to get here in time through Library. They're low on HP, so we can knock them down coming up short.
There's a chance for Mr. Cool here. Just in time, edging through. Needs that second. He's done very well.
The towers are so low.
Yeah, it's not looking good for anything more than just a plant. Last round, you've got to play for the clutch, got to play for the victory. Robs swung on, playing the time, making this hurt, ensuring there's trade potential. He's trapped on the graveyard position. Did he not spot him? Robs is clearing sight. Robs is clearing sight. There's no way he's ready for this position. Oh! What is that from Robs? What is that? He's clearing sight. He's just got that sixth sense. I don't know, like the hairs on the back of his neck start tingling.
Yeah, well, I can tell he's in better health, isn't he? He deals with the lurk. They're on low HP. Stalls them out coming up short, and then this one.
What?
All right, well, 7-5 on the half for Vitality.
I mean, a competitive half.
Yes, and look, the fact that you're able to get 2 light-by victories in a half against Vitality, that is a feat within itself.
Yes.
So, Aurora, they didn't come easy, but you've still given yourself something to work with. You pick up this pistol and get the ball rolling into the second half on your defense. You pick this map. Up next will be Overpass. It's the selection of Vitality if we need to get their Mirage. Both teams floating Ancient. Last time they went head-to-head, that was picked. It was in a seeding game. This time, there's a bit more on the line. So happy to toy with it in the veto, but not pick it.
And Aurora currently functioning without one of their crucial pieces. I wonder if that last head-to-head in Krakow, if Woxic's still kind of recovering from the encounter they had over there. You need Woxic online. He's a vital piece of this Aurora machine.
It's just tough on Inferno. CT side, he'll get more opportunities as long as they can get the AWP out, right? T side, AWP. There's certain teams who have AWPers who won't even run the AWP on the T side of the snap. So, still a chance for him to get into the game. Zentara's a Madja beat. Lucario and Soulflight ready to if and brawl in Boiler with Woxic and Halls.
اولش نفهمید که رد کرده این ولی خب اون چکش خیلی خارق‌العاده بود.
Those players very comfortable with it.
A bit deep, so avoiding the damage there as they do turn to top mid. Lucario lies in wait. He got to clear out the close corner. Nobody home.
All right then. Lucario prepares himself to shred. Robs on the clears. Glock versus Jewel Berettas, and neither of them find it cleanly. 15 bullets to go. They already have the sight. Robs has been kept busy. Lucario finds him eventually, and with the loss of Apex, this one is on. Oh, first slip up, second not happening. Good finds. Woxic onto Zaiwu. Soulfly from the short side. Woxic will close. Aurora make it a one-round game.
Must have felt tense for Aurora, right, knowing that they're wrapping A, and with their setup, and that's the one thing that's not designed to do, at least not immediately. Someone on the retake. From their 6th round, but the bomb does go down. We'll be expecting Vitality to chip in now with a force buy of their own.
بویلری خیلی زیاد زنده مون.
Starting to take shape.
Whoa.
Some nice shooting though, and you said, yeah, Woxic needed to find himself in the game as Apex, the classic right there.
That's Apex's reaction to the Zentares long-range Jewel Beretta one-tap. It's a mouthful, and he got a head full of hot lead.
There's been 2 AKs dropped. One from Messi, one from Flamesy.
This is way quicker than Soulfly's ready for. Zaiwu has just walked straight up the guts of middle, taken a fight. He nearly took a second head. Once it gets away, block smokes through, solid nade on the nose of Flamesy. Apex breaks in, going through the flashes. They're trying to break down the barricades. Still defenders are here. One less now. ZywOo removing Woxic makes things awkward, makes things uncomfortable. Look at the health on Apex and ZywOo. This could be where Wicardia can retake the site, find himself a handful of impactful frags. ZywOo's just a dead man peeking. It's us into the 2-on-2. RApTOR likely to close from the pit side. Kit on Wicardia. Madja plays next. Flirting with that smoke, buying time. They're rotting this. Oh, good God, they're cutting it fine. Madja to clear run out, does adjust. RApTOR's likely to have this one now. The Kit is lost. Vitality will take the round. Force bite, success, clutch for Mr. Cool.
All right, well, you drop to AKs, and that's the output that you get. That's huge stuff right there for Vitality. They rise to ship once more. And the force bite wars will continue now into this next. With only one staying alive, look, it's going to be scattered for the T-side buy, but theirs will be much better than what can be offered up at the Turkish side. Madja will be dropping that M4 to Zintares. Don't you question that. And this is it. Look at it, a minute 37 on the clock, and he's just walked dry up middle. And the two that you get is on the pit anchor. Yeah. But at that point, it's an open runway. Still gets tense. With a couple of MP9s and a 5.7. On the other side is 3 AKs and 2 MAC-10s. So you've already slipped up to 2 rounds similar to this Vitality, and you could even say with less. So you're going to be on high alert. Aurora, are you able to be punchy and get a third within the first map of play under your belt? Split the pistols. I'd say you're ahead in the low buys.
Oh, that's a good connection.
Telling them they're aware of something towards the CT side, whether it's a jiggle or a boost.
Zintares set up for success. Wicardia gets spotted, baits them in. Yeah, he gets nothing done with the M4. Flash is layered to perfection. And Vitality will be taking the site.
Madja couldn't even get his hands on the M4 there. He had that MP9 in hand, so he's going back to pick it up and get out to use it again into the next round of play. 9-6. As, at least they're going to have some upgrades to work with.
Yeah, it's certainly better than nothing. But not everything.
اسموک هم حتی بوست و نه خیلی بوست خوب بود. اسموک نگرفته بودش. نتونست درست ازش استفاده کنه.
Unless he wants to all in, right? Unless they really want a hero behind it, and that's if they can hold on to it, because
از چه نتی استفاده بکنیم؟ من
John over, but Library, that's where they'll stop.
That one came a little easy.
اون واندرفول
It's tough. I don't even know what you meant to pick against.
به جمع مردا برگشت. این فلیمزی تازه رفت.
Anubis didn't give you the chance. You didn't go for the punish on Ancient because of how things went last time. It was left open. The chance was there. It's just a playoff game. Didn't team wanted to take that risk. We talk about the Dust 2 record of Vitality being so strong. Well, Inferno is as well. All time for this 5-man unit, it's 52 times played, 40 and 12. It's one of the staples in their map pool. For double digits, you just need to get through the residuals. Can't even set up Madja on B with these flashes.
Hero M4, hero M4, hero M4, hero.
Flash, flames.
He
ain't blind.
Nado!
Nade doesn't knock that M4 any closer to Wicardia as he would have hoped, and so now, yeah, his days are numbered. So are the rounds. This one's for 10. Bad output from Zintares, given the weaponry. Gets something with the dual Berettas, but yeah.
چه خبره؟ هر کی دست رو گذاشته رو تیر یه سمتی و داره تیر میندازه.
Right, it's something to hold on to for these two. Soulfly and Woxic running away to retain whatever they can, but there's the double digits.
آره نه.
The same way we were talking about the Paravision game.
میگه تو استریم نشون دادم که داره شده خراب که میشه به هر حال به ایران زندگی می‌کنیم دیگه.
Winning over Falcons in 3 maps.
AT&T که نداریم مخابرات. این اصلا تفاوت رو نکن AT&T اصلا گوگل فایبر
suffering a streak of round losses. The economy will go against you. The mental might start to build in a negative way, but that's happened to them twice in this map. Within 16 rounds of play, and well, still confident, collected, just going through the motions. For that 18th consecutive top 4.
It just sounds like you're making up numbers at this point. 18th consecutive.
Well, going over it just a couple of weeks ago in Krakow, right, when they hit the 17th.
Yeah. I guess that makes it easy for you to keep counting. 18th. Bloody hell.
Well, you go back to the start of their run with RApTOR on the team, it was this roster, or at least 4 out of 5 who stopped them.
BDSL یا DDSL از ADSL مسلماً بهتره.
And Aurora had gone a whole year since they'd played against them again. And, well,
different result.
Ancient was fun, but overall, still the expectation of Vitality getting the job done.
Yeah, my main takeaway from Ancient was, now we can play all 7 maps.
And they definitely were aware of the possibility, right? If you're going to float it in the veto, you have to know there's an opportunity that you could be playing it, but neither team wanted to pull the trigger as we begin out the box to KWP.
Okay.
So get some kills on the pistol.
اشاره کردم ما فیبر مخابرات داریم توی ایران. الان این نشونش دیدین این تفاوت مثلا گوگل فایبر با مخابرات فایبر یه همچین چیزی که الان دیدید.
You need something to change for this one, not to feel like a formality. Coming up next, overpass. Or at least get the CT side. More of this slower roll. Going through the motions, taking the map space. High-level CS macro on display.
They managed to keep Vitality to under 1,000 utility damage this previous half, so that is something. Still 400 from RApTOR. And knows his nades.
Plenty of nades top banana as they take brackets control. So 40 seconds remaining. This one will come down to the wire.
They are running that clock down thin, so with 20 seconds left in the round, they throw the split smokes and all channeling up long. Woxic was caught, does do well to adjust into one, but Mezzi onto Zantares puts it onto Soulflyer. Back to bomb loose, 8, 7, 6, they're not going for the bomb, they're not going to have time. The frag from Soulfly has picked up the run for Aurora. Little bit of divine intervention there.
I think they wanted to avoid as much util damage for as long as they could, right? But by the time they started to make a move, way too late in the piece, and then rounds have to go perfectly at that moment. I don't think that's enough to get them too frustrated, but it is another one to add to that tally of rounds that they feel like they should have picked up.
Yeah, it's just funny to me that no one immediately, reacted to scooping up the bomb. It seemed like that wasn't the priority.
And maybe the clock got away from all of them there. Poor time management in that one.
I'm sure comms are hectic when you're going for those late plays.
Now that's going to be rounds on the CT side.
یه بسافتیریو من قبلش گزارش کردم. یه ذره گلوده حق
دارم. If they
دارم.
lose this one, the game probably goes with it because lost bonus only 1900 into the next round.
Very important round for the Aurora hopes of taking Inferno.
I would say you have to win this to keep the game alive.
Okay.
این هوای لعنتی
Woxic still has his sniper. He got one, but was immediately traded. Perhaps he can insert himself a little more early into the piece.
مثل اردیبهشته.
there as well. Maybe he wants to follow adjustment, but this would be game plan, right? That's the first full rifle round we've had of the half, and it was premeditated to start very slow for Vitality. Triple nades.
Voided. Wakadia safe on sandbags. Throws out his batch of utility.
Tars and Woxic on long. Neither of them with a HE. So if there is a long smoke, both of them will be removed from the play as more util to soften up key positions.
بعد از این بازی هست. یوریا بازی داره با مونگولز. خوردم اشکا. من تو موقع میدونم چی کار باید بکنم. ولی خب
left over towards the chicken pip. 50 seconds.
هر کاری کنیم معجزه نمی‌کنه. من الان صدام داره در میاد. دارم صحبت می‌کنم. اگه مثلا گزارش کنم امکان داره که 2-3 ساعت دیگه صحبتم دیگه نتونم بکنم.
Got a bit more time to do this.
Yeah, ever so slightly.
3 quarters. Or a missed start.
I think that's missed thrown.
Yeah, that's not ideal. They're actually blocking themselves. Oh! Oh! Flames has found a way in. Don't worry. He finds the sniper through the smoke. Soulfly down to Messi. Oh! That gets messy with a swift double kill out of Zantares. How did he get both there?
Yeah, his aim's been on point with this one. Has got 14 kills, but win round to give him a go. They will just save these 2 rifles.
Crazy.
Couple of missed pieces of utility in this one. They went to smoke off Moto from Apps just there and they missed it as well. But don't worry, got worked out in their favor. They'll just spam you through the smoke.
Flamesy's just got that smoko vision. These new smokes, it does open up those possibilities, doesn't it? You got 3 players spamming a smoke, you are going to be exposed if you're on the other side of it.
So imagine we'll be able to drop an M4. So we get 1900, so we'll put him well within range.
Terrorists win.
We have 3 M4s and
MP9s,
maybe a FAMAS in the mix if they'd really like. And they are shoving. So this is essentially it. They lose this one, 2400 and
12.
Yes.
Okay.
Moxie's going to come in with a scout, MP9 for Soulflight. Magic gets to hold on to an M4 as one of the B defenders alongside of Wakadia, and Zantares as the rotator gets his as well.
Curious to see where Zywu's off to. A rarity to see the T-side AWP. Moxic not so lucky. Oh, they weren't expecting an AWP! And that could be it. Madja and Wakadia, Lemmings. Jumping into the jaws of the Woo.
Let's see, maybe they want to make the playoffs easier than their Swiss run. Vitality, yeah, a bit late against G2, the Mongols, and then they 2-0'd Mouse. So losing maps in groups. Normally, go back to Krakow, they only got 1 map. That was in the playoffs. This time a little bit more labored, but so far so good.
خیلی زیاده. تموم نمیشه بعد این تازه مپ اوله. بعد این مپ دوم داریم. فرزانه هم دویچه. بعدش دور بازی. اوه خیلی هش.
He's hit the bullet.
Yep, tag, but you're dead.
You dead. And Zantares soon to be, it seems, with 16 points of health. Swinging in. Still finds the head of Apex and Mezzi's low.
Yeah, well, Soulfly has just left the side. So Mezzi, with his presence, has drawn the rotation. Romps Zai with Flames, he can waltz into A.
And he dips.
And that means there's no way down Banana to chase this. Soulfly's going to see if he can get something a little bit better than the MP9 to carry into the next, but you can hunt. As long as someone stays with the bomb, you can go and have a little bit of a look at Mezzi hanging around. Oh, there you go.
Backup career for Mezzi. I think he could, you know, be doing cold calling because he sold that.
Man.
Very effective.
حقیقتش هیچ وقت فکر نمی کردم که جیم دوباره بتونه مثلا برگرده پیشرفت بکنه توی بازیش. اینقدر سبک بازیش مثلا اسلو و معمولی و یک نواخت و فلان بود.
Yeah, they get something through. An AK-47. The incendiary alongside the Kev brought through as a little bonus, but it is up against the ropes.
همچین
Imagine he
تیمی
drops that
بست
AK
و
to
الان
Zantares,
دهن
probably
همه
buys
هم
himself a
سرویس
rifle, and everybody
کرده.
else picks their
بعد
poison. For
عجیب
this one,
اسنایپ میزنه.
5-round game, and it's not one of those matches where it feels like the gap can close. Again, this is an Aurora who made it to an awful lot of
چطوری
playoffs.
کاکتوس سلو
Obviously,
جیگر ردیفی
new
خوبی
boy
چه خبر خوش
Soulfly fresh
اومدی
to these waters. What a shot. But having a hard time
بازی کی؟
grasping with, first of all, the level of Counter-Strike. You're playing against Vitality.
مگه الان بازی داره
Second of all, the environment where you want to get the desired level of output.
نه اوجا هلو امید سناتور چطوری خوش اومدی بی سی گیم آره داره نظرم میشه البته میزم نظرم البته داره ادیتش کنم دونه رو
Locked on the half walls, and Tares trying to take aim duels, and he spots out Zaiwu. That information goes both ways.
ضعیفه اون سه تا پلیر دیگه ضعیفه
Both of which on high alert for any potential pressure.
تنها چیزی که راجع به بی سی گیم میتونم بگم اینه که سیمپل جالب داشت
Vitality have come in just to
بازی میکرد
play the default, the push pull.
به نظر میرسه که واقعا این توانایی داره که برگرده توی پرایمش
Clean first bullet headshot. Pulls Aurora into an advantage. He'll snatch an upgrade from the cold dead hands of Flamesy.
این نیست
They will have 3 players here.
Yeah, tough setup to break right now, especially coming up short.
Yeah, Zantares is ready, primed and ready for that first headshot. Doesn't get it on the first burst, and how's Flamesy past? Nade from the pit side, forced out wide. Flames are there. Soulfly does find something. Zantares not so lucky. They've still got to crossfire this rotation in from the library side. Magic's going to be found by Apex, and that's going to make things so much more difficult. Solid from Soulfly. Has to do it all, and he is. 3 kills just to extend play. Just to give Aurora something to talk about on the CT side. 7 seconds. It's a head-to-head duel. Apex running to his demise. Soulfly has a round. Steps up, delivers, extends play.
He's looked at right at home in some of these anchor rolls.
سیمپل
So an
نمیدونم داره
important
چی
one
کار
from him
میکنه
there. Sort of confidence booster for him to put the
بود
highlight
الکترونیک
reel.
نبود
But is it just establishing another round of play, or is there something more afoot?
آره کاکتوس ببین PGL خودش چند تا تورنمنت داره الان اینی که اینجا دارید میبینید این تیر اسشه اونی که اونور شما میبینید فکر کنم تیر B یا C شه
Gets his AWP to play again, but it's always tense, it's always close. It's going to have to be clean.
سلام محمد چطوری خوش اومدی
Oh, they volleyed him out of position. Burning. That's 100 to 0.
آره واقعا
Roasted.
بیکادیا سوپ چه
Oh, Maja needed that. Apex wasn't expecting to see Maja just as he rounds the corner. A clawback from Zaiwu, and now that B-side's vulnerable. They're going. They know exactly where you are, somewhere on site. They clear him out. Tech9 leaps into the site, and that's got to be it. Oh, it really is now.
عجب میسی هم دادی
Watson
بابا
doesn't even get to try and
لند
retake, and he
میکردی
is giggling. This demon that is Zaiwu, haunting the nightmares of Aurora.
اینا خیلی سالم از با هم دیگه همچنین بودن هر کار خوب دادی که ما خوب دادی
And that's the end of that, folks. Vitality 13, 8-2 Aurora.
And just as we expected, you're watching greatness unfold live and direct here from PGL Cluj Napoca. This is Vitality in fine form.
She said she loves you, but she can't love me.
But I love you.
I won't play window anymore.
چت ما بریم ببینیم یه چایی میتونیم بشوریم یا نه
Play your role. 1xbet.
نبش tricks بریم بریم یه چایی بذاریم دم بکشه بریم خدمتتون برای مپ بعدی. بیار بی.
The human body was built to move, not trapped at a desk in one singular posture for 12 hours a day. It's time your chair evolved. This is Secret Lab Titan Evo. Ergonomically engineered for you, gamers, hybrid workers, artists, backing your every move.
Leading into this matchup, both Janko and Pim said it is going to be extremely hard for Aurora to topple Vitality. They needed to be firing on all cylinders, and Aurora felt that. Obviously, this was their map pick. They go down. In the first half, looked somewhat promising, but just wasn't enough to close it out.
Yeah, I think Janko said that sometimes it's also about the opposition, you know, how much is Vitality allowing Aurora to get firing on all cylinders. In this game, not really a lot. As you said, first half was slightly more competitive than the second, I'd argue. You know, a couple of force buys that we're going to dive into later for Aurora made the half seem a bit more competitive than it probably was. Overall, I think when you take into consideration that Aurora picked into Inferno, they didn't go for the Ancient pick, they didn't go somewhere else. They were the ones bringing Inferno into the mix. Losing 13-8 is kind of fair. You know, I think there was a big disparity between the two teams, and at no point was I worried Vitality weren't going to win. It was just a question of how fast.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think every Counter-Strike game usually comes down to a few key rounds, right? And how you perform in those rounds and what happens. And Aurora had a couple of opportunities, but they would always fall short, right? I mean, it's a respectable first half. You win the second pistol. It's 7-6. It's one round between them. And then the Zaibu Hero AK, right, turns everything around. All the momentum is now on the side of Vitality, and Aurora just didn't have anything, didn't have enough in the tank to really battle that.
Well, this is the thing, right? Vitality will be very happy. They came out, they did the job, which is what I think that they're going to consider quarterfinals and semi-finals. We just need to get through these to get to those grand finals. For Aurora, it's going to be devastating when you go backstage now, because this was your map pick, this was your opportunity.
Yeah, you could argue that, you know, of course they still have to believe that they can make it happen, but I don't think much really changed for Aurora. I think they kind of faced exactly what they were expecting. A team that currently is the best in the world, and a team where you have to play your absolute A game in order to win against them. I'd even argue that Vitality allowed Aurora to be competitive in that first half. Zaibu was 0-5 in this game, and he ended up being the highest rated player on the server, the highest ADR, despite doing nothing for the first 6 rounds. That's where Aurora were competitive. As soon as he got going, Janko, it was over.
You rarely point at the numbers, but I mean, Vicadia and Voxic, you just need to do better than that, right? I mean, we were talking about individuals, and you're not going to call your way to beating Vitality, and Xantares delivered one round, but Vicadia and Voxic just, you know, a pretty poor game for their standards, and against a team like Vitality, actually against any team, really, you're going to have a tough time being able to overcome such a lackluster individual performance.
Let's talk about the gen on your screens now. According to Apex at the start here, he's only 90% okay. I mean, I would take this.
Yeah, 100%. You know, good to see Rob's bounce.
Look at that second half.
A little bit, yeah. Second half.
You don't have to do anything. Just chilling.
Just chilling a bit, you know, trying to lurk, but there was no kills to be found for Mr. Robs. Obviously having a great first half. He cemented, you know, Vitality remaining competitive. He was kind of covering for Saiwu, not getting anything done on the bomb side to begin with. Part of a couple of retakes as well. So overall, a great performance from Robs, and good to see him healthy and back.
This is the problem with Vitality, right? If you're the opposition, is they just need one or two of their players to kind of come online at any given moment, and suddenly they become a huge threat.
It's even more than that, I feel like. They just need one or two players each round to come alive. Because as I said, Saiwu were nowhere to be found the first, you know, 4 or 5 rounds, went 0-5, and then someone else is just picking up the slack. This time around, it was Robs. Sometimes we talk about it being Messi in the big games. Sometimes we talk about it being Flamesy, who's having a great start to the year. There's so many different avenues to victory.
And Flamesy and Apex, even though they had a fumble or two early on in Banana, but held their ground really well. So even when Major was switching it up, and you could tell he wanted to have some of those more pacey rounds, he wanted to win a couple of rounds on B, make Vitality open 3B, and then hit him with a couple of pace changers towards A when there are only 2 players on that bomb side. But it didn't quite work out as he imagined, and then even in those rounds where, let's say, Vitality was slightly weaker towards A, that's when you have Rob stepping up, getting a multi-kill, sort of just buying time for the rotations to come in.
Yeah, and I think that goes back to the beginning of the game, as we discussed, right? Aurora losing pistol, losing the conversion, then they find themselves successful with this force spike coming in with the Tech 9s. As you said, Flamesy and Apex perhaps dropped the ball a bit in this round, but overall they restabilized, I believe, the following round as well. Flamesy stepped up and did a huge job. So you think to yourself, okay, Aurora, you buy your ticket into the game right here. You buy your ticket into the round, you win a force buy, and that's something you need to do a couple of times in a game in order to make the upset happen, in order to beat Vitality. Unfortunately, they couldn't really pounce on that. They go down 6-4 again later stages of this half. Then they do it one more time. They win another force buy. And the picture I'm trying to paint right here, Sam, is that if you're Aurora, it's your own map pick, it's Inferno, you're winning 2 force buys in a game like this, and you're still losing 13-8. You're still not even remotely competitive from the moment it was 7-6. Then there's a lot of stuff that needs to go your way. Because I feel like normally under these circumstances, you do that as a team, you're in a pretty good position to get a win, or at the very least, make it much, much closer.
Was there something that Aurora could have done in the second half to change the scoreline and potentially take it further?
Not lose the second round. I think that would have gone a long way. Problem is just when you lose that second round after winning pistol, doesn't matter which side it happens on, doesn't matter which map, against who you're playing, just the effect on the economy is absolutely tremendous, right? And you can see Saiwu, we always talk about his work on the rifles too, not just on the op, and just doing a great job of trading, also understanding that he needs to keep being aggressive with this one rifle. If he just sits back, you know, his teammates didn't have all too much to work with in this round, and he's able to do enough, and they're able to buy enough time, you know, for Major to not be able to go for the retake. And, you know, after this, it's 1400 for Aurora, 1 saved gun. It's not even about that next round. It's the first gun round that they have. There's no op on Voxic. You don't have all the nades to fight Banana, so you need to take some sort of a risk. And that's the thing about, you know, a squad like Vitality and an in-game leader like Apex. He's aware of this. Like in freeze time, he's going to be saying to his team, guys, let's watch out for something aggressive. Let's spend more utility in the default because you're going to take a risk of some sort. You know, let's cross our T's, dot our I's, and it's very difficult for those plays to work against a team of Vitality's caliber.
What can Aurora take away from this game? I mean, I know that they've lost the map, but
Sure.
is there something that they can take away, kind of clutch onto as they move into Vitality's map pick?
I think Soulfly did okay. You know, that's a new prospect, obviously, the second time for him on a big stage in a playoff game. We saw in Krakow, obviously not getting much done together with his team. This time around, though, he found some impact early on in the game, and I think he held up to his own. So if there's one thing I do want to point out as something positive for Aurora, again, despite losing your own map pick and not really making it competitive, it will be that Soulfly this time around, actually stepped up and played like he's been playing throughout the entire group stage, which has been a positive sign for him.
Another positive thing is, starting CT side overpass for the next map. I think, I don't know if Apex has one eye on like Furia potentially in the semi-final, like he's really trying to nail down this overpass. I mean, they're undefeated this year on the map, right? Picked it against Aurora in that other game, beat them comfortably, but Aurora are no slouches on the map. I mean, they've played it 5 or 6 times, they have a positive win rate on it, but obviously going up against Vitality, what I want to see them do on CT side is just gamble a little bit more, take some risks. Have 3A, 4A openings, then go into 4B plays where you push for water control. You need to try and make Vitality uncomfortable, make the game a bit messy. Because if you play it by the book, I think Vitality just has your number.
Yeah, last time they played, Vitality also started on the T side. They got 8 rounds, got off to a very strong start, and Janko kind of highlighted it here from Inferno. Vicadia, Voxic not getting a lot of stuff done. Guess who were the 2 lowest rated player in that game as well? Looking at Vicadia towards the B bomb side, you looked at Voxic on the A bomb side, were the 2 lowest rated players, for Aurora in that specific game versus Vitality on overpass. So I feel like there's a lot of stuff, obviously, outside of the obvious, that is pointing in the direction of Vitality right now. But in terms of changing the tide of this game, I'm looking at a Voxic. I'm looking at an AWP presence that can shut down a Saivu that last time these 2 teams faced poised a +2 rating.
I do find it interesting, Janko, what you mentioned there, like they need to be a bit messy, they need to change things up. I wonder when you are a team going up against the name Vitality now, that feels like a very brave thing to do. You kind of go, let's just stick to what we know because we can do that as best as possible. I mean, how many teams are going to be willing to try something completely different and shake it up a little bit?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong here, Janko, right? But when we say that, it's not like we want Aurora to go in and play as if it was a face-it game. Of course, they still have protocols. Of course, they'll still have defaults. They have ways of playing the game. But I think on an individual basis, what you're seeking is a bit more, I guess, freedom to take the individual decisions that can make the game messy, Loosen up a guy like Voxic. Maybe going for an extra repeat. Maybe going down towards Connector and risk it all, by fighting till you die. It's not that you can throw the entire playbook out of the window. I don't think that's what Janko is requesting. That's not what I would suggest. But just let loose a little bit in some of those individual decision-making moments that could maybe make the game messy.
Yeah, be more aggressive. Swing a 3rd player in the mid-round towards A. Go for the re-clear in bathrooms. Be the one who dictates the pace of the game. Because in a 5v5, if you're doing it just step by step, Voxic takes 1 line. When he gets flashed back, he takes another one. When the smoke comes in, he goes back to the site. I don't think that's the way to play against Vitality if you're Aurora, right? I think other contender teams, they can play their own game because they have already such a high level and they can match up against Vitality better. Aurora, considering the roster change, just sort of the ceiling a little bit, and even more so when your individuals are struggling, like that's where you need to sort of gang up a bit more, right? And try to use the numbers to your advantage. It's not ideal, right? You're always leaving some side weaker, open to reaction for the players from Vitality, but you're going up against the best team in the world. You have to risk something.
Okay, so it's a bit of an obvious question, but I'm going to ask it anyway. What are the strengths that Vitality bring to Overpass?
I mean, the entire thing. I think the T side is good. We see a lot of teams having a tough time finding a lot of openings on the T side. I don't really see Vitality struggling with that. Obviously, the CT side defense is great as well. Apex individually has been stepping it up in the beginning of 26. I think that's another underrated storyline that we were kind of focusing a bit during later stages of 25, that he was individually starting to struggle a lot. So far in 26, he's been great. Specifically in Overpass, he's getting a lot of the job done by being very, I guess, mobile, especially on the CT side. So I feel like you can point in pretty much any direction.
I think for me it's drops as well, especially on the T side. On Overpass, it's really important that your B anchor is self-sufficient, right? Like while the rest of the team might be working on the A side of the map, like that he takes the space that's given to him. If the CTs are playing maybe 2B, 3A because they're feeling pressured and they're playing barrels and water or something like that, to just walk out monster, right? Look for that duel, put some pressure, maybe cut off rotations and give options to Apex, right? Where he can fake A, come back to B because Robs is in position really to pound when his team needs it.
It's looking like Vitality is going to be able to secure themselves a spot in the semi-finals by closing out 2-0. What we need from Aurora is for them to be brave and to get a little bit messy. Let's see if they can do that.
Yeah, a little bit messy. Perhaps that is exactly what we have to look forward to. Thank you very much, guys. Cluj, you having a good time? You entertained? Hell yeah. Year is 2026, over 10 years since Apex lifted that major trophy in this very arena, the BT Arena.
Yeah, it feels like a bit of a formality. This one is going to be going the way of Vitality. Zywu, who started that map 0-5 down, ended up 19 and 10, 5 multi-kills and 5 opening kills. So slow start, no issues. Zywu, inevitable. I think that's what you said last time.
That's right. He is inevitable, and yeah, this does feel like an inevitable finish for Vitality.
مپم که پیک وایتالیتیه و اسم میکنم علی از تو مدد.
You can only play what's in front of you, and for Aurora, it's Vitality.
Okay, that's a good start on the P2K. Woxic onto Apex, opening exchange, Zywu. We were just discussing a line, Pepper's a couple, so...
They're coming for you, Wicardia. You've got to hit this first one. And he has done the opposite. 30 bullets later, he's brought down RApTOR. They will get into the site, but it's still going to be a disadvantage.
They can pipe up short quickly. Bomb will go down, however. Late to this.
He's got a lot of work to do here on the short fight. Oh, not a clean click from Madja. He goes down. Mezzi stands his ground, and Flamesy immediately removing Zentaris. That opens up more for the post-plant. They get access to water. They can play on the ramp. They've got everything covered now, and that advantage from Woxic's opener, it's dwindled to naught.
It's just tough being... Well, a lot of teams in the current landscape where these guys exist. But for Aurora, a team who would be get just the wins on the stage, not in terms of series, I'm talking maps. Against the world best, you heard from Magic, they're going to give it their best. It's a learning experience. Still early days with Soulfly in the team, and he had a couple of nice moments over there on Inferno. But yeah, Wicardia will be frustrated with himself there. And once this crossfire is set up, that is absolutely beautiful work. Force buy-in for Aurora. Wouldn't be the first one of these lighter situations they've been able to convert. 4 men starting A. Flash at the ready, here it comes.
Whilst I agree, I do not think the MP9 is particularly fantastic on a map like Overpass.
Well,
apart from at ranges like that, actually, Woxic was in a good place to do some damage. Got flashed off.
Exactly where he was. They have a very good idea what this setup is meant to
yeah. Oh dear.
Right, so sometimes you get the scout deep, right? You definitely get the AWP deep, and this is just getting farmed up right now. Soulfly and Zentaris, last 2 men on the scene. Just real comfort for Vitality, knowing they on this map against Turks not that long ago. You don't have to go the laboured affair of Ancient either. So might be an easier series as well. They toss this one up with the Executors, the SMGs that come up the final 2. That is a beautiful little execution. Now it'll be the eco.
Attack Shark.
You have to wonder what the other side of the bracket is going to look like. We are destined for Vitality to take on the winner of Furia versus the Mongols. And this was already, in my opinion, the tougher side of the bracket, with Falcons falling to Paravision.
Yeah, it was a high-octane start to the day.
It's tough for Paravision going up against a team like Mouse. I understand they had a very good win against Falcons, but Mouse, in those type of matches, they're a different beast. It's just Vitality is the team they can't get past. And Torji had no issues letting the crowd know how he felt.
Oh, wow. Fully blind, of course. Zywu just racking him up. Oh, he's even stolen that one away from Apex.
چه فارمی کرد دن سرویس.
Extaz part of the crowd right now.
G5
start, guns come out. But at least this time round for rifle round number 1, Woxic has his AWP. So that's a nice difference maker. In the Astralis game, Woxic was great, right? He was finding a lot of openings. You get that front side lurk smoke, they're blowing it open. He's finding picks. Really making Hooksy and his new band of men look a little bit silly. But bonus guns in this one for Vitality. That's going to force them into a bit more of a B lean. That's a big nade down the pocket.
Short control gained. RApTOR's going to be leading the charge. Looks like they want to go for a little boost here. They could perhaps get caught out.
This is very popular, right? They might.
Yep, perfect.
Nice boost.
I was talking more about the T side. The double nades to wood with the eruption through monster at the same time. We've seen a lot of that in recent overpass play.
It's a good response as they're setting it up. If you don't path safely like RApTOR did, you're going to die like Mezzi did. Flushed out. Madja didn't have anyone to
دست
set up
دوم
for
یعنی من هیچ
that.
وقت به کسی نمیگم بگیرید نمیگم نگیرید. دست دوم همیشه یه ریسکی خلاصه میشه هست دیگه شما نمیدونید چیه داستانش.
There are nades for the finish.
هر چیزی مثلا اگه بخوام دست دوم
Get a smoke heaven.
از پیشنهاد میکنم اون که 100% باشه. حداقل چیزی که میخوام بگیرین گارانتیش خورده مونده باشه ازش. حالا اینکه کل گارانتی داشته باشه یه ذره مونده باشه.
They're so scared.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Oh!
Okay, well these two SMGs are going to try and break in. Madja confirms there are commitments. 4 versus 5. How quickly does that disintegrate? Solid extension of the advantage. Soulfly versus Apex. Oh, shredded. Too little, too late from Woxic Orb. He's going to play for the clutch. He's going to play for the round. He loses it all.
The fear factor there with the util highlights the disparity in this matchup better than anything really could.
One single flashbang and they dump it instead. Wow, beautiful headdress. A single flash and it forces the pillar smoke, the incendiary monster, HE, and a flashback.
The funny thing is the pillar smoke actually makes it easier for them to path in through monster.
Yeah, it actually worked out really
so
nicely.
It's like, oh, we have a buffer now. We only have to worry about left side, and once we're in, well, someone's been working hard today.
Wow. The totem pole of beverages. I hope that wasn't all you.
Has to be duct. Well, no.
Team effort, you know?
Surely duct tape does Aurora take a tactical timeout. They'll go into another partial with MP9s aplenty. Woxic to keep it a little bit lighter. Max loss bonus, making sure he gets out the AWP. I think you're hoping for a little bit more entertainment with the Fury and Mongols game to close it down. Again, it is just tough, right?
Oh, yeah.
Vitality. You can say Astralis or you can say Vitality. I'll take either answer because we're still in the Vitality era. The Astralis one is over.
Yeah, they can add more pages to that history book.
Oh, look how quick this is going to come. Centaurus, hello.
In the open. It's done well to hit the headshot, but hunted down by the Zywoo rifle. Forces him back. So that's going to concede an awful lot of space. You are in the dark on A.
The key right now is these two smokes, one with Centaurus, one with Soulfly, so they're going to be able to block for at least a little bit longer. And with Flamesy a little bit low, he might go down quickly on the entry, so...
I do like the twist they've got on that new flash for the long take. Less easily spotted. A quicker pop. Is this a gamble? Are they just going to...
Well, you know, you have the SMGs, a 4-1. We've seen a lot of this, right? And rotation.
Oh! Okay. Oh! As he just sits Centaurus on his ass.
Yeah, forget about the rotation. They started pushing short as that shot came in, so it'll be too late to this. This is going to be a 5-0 start.
It just feels like we're all tuning into a Vitality scrim.
Yeah, we're going to watch them dry run right now.
سلام زهره چطوری؟ خوش اومدی.
Who's going to die first, Flamesy or Zywoo? What do we reckon? Let's make it interesting.
All right.
Cluj, make some noise if Flamesy dies first. Okay, I'd say that's about half of the crowd.
He's about to die now.
باید خوبی خوش اومدی.
Oh, what about Zywoo?
چت شاتو داشتی؟
He's not dying. Maybe? No.
Just more variants that Flames dies first, taking some space in there.
Oh, so yeah, okay. That is a valid prediction.
It's a fun game.
Oh,
he's
fine. He's fine.
He's all good.
That's 19-0 between the two of them.
That's a bad stat line. These two have been in fine form for Vitality throughout so far. 5-0 in the hole, CT side overpass. Already one map down.
دیدم ما این شاتی که سیمپل زد تو همین جا هم زد با
We'll speed things up. How good can this get? Maybe they can sprint across the line as well from A to B.
Flamesy on a Mag 10. He just wants to run. He only got a single flash because he knows he's going in first. Oh no, he's still not dead. Finds himself an upgrade, steals one out of the hands of Soulfly. There we go. Flamesy's been put down by Madja. And there's more for Wicardio! He doesn't connect. Tip of the head!
Oh, وای
Handing out involuntary haircuts. That one's a 0.
زانتارس هنوز هیچ کیو نکشته. الان احتمال داره بشه 0-6. حالا ببینیم بقیه‌اش چی میشه. زایوو 12 تا کشته نمرده هنوز.
That's for us.
Yeah, that's delicious, isn't it?
That's for us.
All right, well, looking to
شروع
retain the orb.
دسمچ بازی میکنه اصلا. اشتباه اومدی تو رو میتونی.
Now look, a bit more to it.
12-0.
Opening kill like that. Sure, he does go down. We'll lock in the next round.
زایوو علنا 12-0.
Trying to speed up the schedule a little bit, I think, Vitality.
یه لیست برای خرید موس و مانیتور اکسپت ببین.
I'd like to see that one again.
این ایده رو من قبلا توی چنل پیدا کردم کار این انجام میدادم. ایده که چرا این کار انجام میدادیم. ولی مشکل اینجاست که مثلا توی ویدیو شما میای میگه خب موسای اقتصادی. مشکل ایران اینه که این قضیه‌ای که مثلا شما اسمشو الان میذاری اقتصادی مثلا 6 ماه دیگه از اون حالت اقتصادی در میاد. یعنی چی؟ یعنی مثلا من میگم آقا الان برید مثلا یه موس فراسو بالا مدل بخرید خوبم هست یه تومن. من اینو میام ویدیو میکنم میذارم مثلا تو یوتیوب میگم آقا 1 تومنی این مثلا 2 تومنی این 3 تومنی این مثلا 10 تا موس معرفی میکنیم تا از پایین تا بالا. قیمت مهمه واسه چیزیه واسه ویور. شما داری یه محصولی رو میخوای معرفی کنی بگی آقا این خوبه 100% با قیمتش هم بگی. مشکلی که مثلا اون 1 تومنیه رو 6 ماه دیگه باید توی ویدیو بگیم آقا این مثلا این شد 10 تومن. از اون داستان خارج شده بود. ببین این افزایش قیمتات چون خیلی وحشتناکه. من واسه همین دیگه اینجوری ویدیو نمیسازم مگه نه اتفاقا خیلی هم ویدیو خوبی در میان. خیلی هم به کار مردم میاد ولی خب میگم الان نمیشه من چیکار کرد.
You feel it has to be the first? You definitely feel that way.
جمیرو چطوری جمیرو چه خبر؟
Flamesy does impress on those lesser weapons. He gets insane output for someone that's so rarely equipped with the rifle.
Matches just rotated A, so it's only two-man defense on B.
That's a
molly there.
Yeah, okay.
Well, maybe a bit too geeky.
It's a cool idea. I suppose it supports the monster pipe take.
Matches back in time. Now there's 20 seconds. You have to win this one.
This has to be Aurora's round. Surely not. How's he done that? Flamesy, Zywoo, the left and the right. They both hit. They do need to get that bomb planted. They just can't stop him.
He's not missing.
They can't touch him.
چت زایوو داره دسمچ بازی میکنه.
Zywoo is absolutely untouchable. They heard that though. Soundkey's given away.
They're saving.
They know the hunt's coming.
چت
Imagine if he gets better.
دقایقی پیش گفتم زایوو 12 الان شده 14-0.
Right, 7-0. Let me check tab. How long have we been going for? 13 minutes.
Oh. 13?
13 whole minutes. And this is Overpass, traditionally the slowest map in the pool.
Yeah, I just can't believe that Flamesy's got another one there. Like, you're in a 4v5 disadvantage. Like, take a screenshot, you know, one of those. They miss a Molotov. They have max cash on Flamesy and Zywoo before the buy.
Okay, well, at least he's not operating with the Mag 10 anymore. He's got an M4 at least.
That's like a good sandwich.
سلام هادی چطوری خوش اومدی؟
Timeout number 2. After already gotten away from you, the best you can salvage is 5, and that would need to start now, and you give you 5 consecutive. What did he have for breakfast? Or lunch? And what is he having for dinner?
He's
having a Aurora for dinner.
Tastiest kebab in town right now.
Tasty.
All right, well, what can you say about this one?
کیدی زایوو مثل تورم ایران.
I'm going to check what that headshot percentage is. Is that tournament wide?
I don't know.
Well, he's got 71% right now. Either way, it's
71% with 14 and 0. It's going to go down a bit with the AWP, I'm going to assume.
فرصای ضد استرس.
All right, Aurora. We're not going to say it, but nobody wants to see it.
دوپینگ توی
A couple.
ورزش الکترونیک بیشتر سمت استرس و تمرکز و اینجور چیزا میگرده. هرچس رو مغزت بیشتر کار.
Man is pre-aiming the boost. Oh, you just can't peek at your own peril.
زانتارس F6. یه ران دیگه میخواد زانتارس.
He's getting better.
M916
So right now, Zywood and Flamesy have 26 frags combined. Mezzy, RApTOR, and Apex are passengers. They have 4 combined.
Yeah, I mean, most of
they're enjoying the game.
Absolutely. They're
doing
their
their
part, you know, they have their hands on the mouse and keyboard. They're participating.
این دوتا رو بنداز توش. من میرم.
Maybe they wish they were dead so they could be watching what we're getting to see right now.
سلام من قربونت برم عشق منی جیگر خوش اومدی به استریم خاک پاتم داداش جیگرتو برم
and being a stepping stool for Zywood on demand.
خوشحالم که استریم لذت میبری و پیش ما هستی
and another one hits the deck. Woxic and Wakadia, they're close by. They'll be able to try and burrow in here and see what they can do.
This could be a Woxic round.
Asensi.
He's got some support back at Dice. The two of them are fighting, and he's lost his teammates. Woxic fired off a shot, and that is all he gets to do. Playtime is cancelled by Vitality. No fun allowed. Soulfly's doing himself proud, though, with a nice quick 2. That is asking too much.
That was more that he killed Zywood. They were getting a little bit thirsty there. First death.
We have our first Zywood death. It only took 8 rounds of play. He's averaging 2 kills per round. And he's already done 1,600 damage.
و اصلا مهمتره که چیزم ساپورت میکنم DLSS های جدید رو ساپورت
Formality might not have been the best word to describe this.
Yeah, no, this is not a head-to-head. This is Zywood's bullets versus your head.
به خدا نمیدونم دورت بگردم
I don't know what they're meant to do. Your rates are down. It might... they're going to play it out, obviously. The game, in my mind, already over.
Oh, Woxic got leg shot. Maybe that's the end of Zywood, though. They put a couple through the boards. And
okay, there we go.
Okay. Can Vitality win a round without him? Stay tuned to find out.
They're quickly responding into B. Apex come back and get the bomb.
Flamesy searching, loses his duel versus the B defense of Wakadia. And it's all falling into place perfectly.
Okay, they're on the board.
All you have to do is defeat Superman. And the rest falls into place.
Just do that another 12 times. All right. Well, this one, a guarantee, but at the moment, yeah, I would look for damage. So Apex has grabbed one on the spam.
والا ماما جعفری بچه من خودم هم CS بازی نمی‌کنم. من تو پرمیر نگاه کنم ریتینگم پریده. من بازی نکردم. بازی نمی‌کنم.
P9 of Madja here should be the guarantee. He's tucked in. Madja should have a good timing on this. Apex need to be dead meat.
Easy.
And now if you're RApTOR, you're just looking for a bit more damage. Can you take another kill or 2? Oh, great flash. Madja confirms it. There you go. Okay, first round on the board for Aurora.
13-12 با آرکس می‌خواهش داد. ببین نمیشه بگی خوبه ولی خب میشه باش CS بازی کرد.
Go back into things at the very least.
نه ببین ارزش خریدم هست داخل
3AKs, no Woxic AWP, but still you're strapped and going up against the Vitality who buys the low end 6.5, the high end 10k. There's a few more buys available.
دو تا هست بالاتره 50. اگه میگفتی 40 60 یا 30 70 میگفتم 30 70. ولی الان نمیشه 50 60 یا 30 70 دیگه میگم 50 60 چون آپدیت تره.
Going to be trying an aggressive venture this time, just puffing up their chest with some early util, backing away safely.
Which is a little bit unfortunate. You like to see the teams continuing something a little bit aggressive from Aurora, right? Just saying you want to make it messy. I think ways to do that is to have some more setups that are clustered around the central point of the map of connectors, so you're forcing out trade game. If Vitality are able to find the first and then it just peters out to a 45, they find another. We've seen a lot of that already. You need to make sure that you're grouped up in the ability to go 1 for 1 and then you understand where the lurk is, you go through your trade out there. force them into
اصطلاح پی سی اسمبلینگ و پیشنهادات حتی مثلا برای چی ببندیم چی نبندیم نسبت به قیمت قدرت چی میخوام اسم خیلی آدمایی که داخلشن حرفه‌ای خیلی حرفه‌ای
We'll need to replicate.
Okay,
so what? Robs is ahead of the smoke. Soulfly loses his head. Swings to his demise.
Everyone's rotating now for Aurora.
Understandably. Where there's smoke, there's fire. And there it is, lands at the doorstep of Apex. Rob's trying to tap head, spotted out Wacardia, baits him into the swing. Magic from heaven, short-lived success. And now Xantares has to have his round. He only gets the one quickly. Traded out by Flamesy. So Vitality, in short, they make it clear that was an anomaly.
And that was Xantares' first kill. So that's your A rifler, that's your star.
I think
we'll let them.
Yeah, we'll let them.
We'll allow them.
Yeah.
ببین من که بخوام گزارش کنم بازم اون چیزی که میخواد دستگیرت نمیشه شما برو مثلا توی گوگل یا یوتیوب اسم مپی که مثلا میخوای بزن مثلا داستو کال اوت بچه یکی کال اوت تو چت واسه دوستو بنویس که املاشو پیدا کنه
Okay.
این داستو مثلا کال اوت چون اوورپاس کال اوت توی ویدیو بهت نشون میده به کجا چی
میره
Wow.
Oh, you just did it to set up that boost, and I will look at this. Oh, this is.
He is taking liberty.
There's no way. Xantares is going to slam his desk after this.
Yep. Can we make sure we get a Xantares count? This one's going to be frustrating.
Look at the shark.
Yeah, he's picking up nades. He's got his knife out. Flamesy has jump scared him. He didn't get the kill though, so you know what? Mission accomplished. You know that's going to cause a rotation. Xantares is screaming down his microphone. He's just dumped his full utility belt. Batarangs and everything. Apex goes down. Nice from matchup. Finding output. Flamesy one back. There's a lot more where that came from. Oh, Flamesy gets naughty. Jumps up for Xantares. Next is Easy. Mezzy finding one onto Madja. It's Rops as well that's going to be joining them on the site. Wacardia's position now noted. So Rops in the clutch. He's known to close these rounds down. Try and isolate this first fight. Wacardia. Handles it. Aurora will get their second. Deny the Rob's clutch. It's a different round if Flamesy finds the head there. Xantares buying time. Some nice output as well on the way back in. Wacardia on that late arrival, but it was Madja with two crucial frags.
So 2 rounds. The correlation to both of those round victories is Zywoo being the opening death.
Good point. Just do that again. See this opening kill. Look how little he's working with here. Whoa, just a tiny flash of flesh. And
یه سری جاهای خاص رو نمی‌نویسه. اگه توی یوتیوب برید پیداش کنید خیلی بهتره بچه.
Shows what Wogsig was working with.
این مینیمپ یه ذره کلی‌تر می‌نویسه. جزئیات‌ها رو نمیگه.
Oh, aggression from Xantares. Zywoo brings the fight. He's been spotted out as well. There's a lot of action in closing on this fountain position. Wogsig likely to push. Zywoo just goes straight through the flames. Denies. And now Apex with the bomb on his back is taking fight. Taking a
He knows two.
Audacious
He knows there's 2 players up at bathrooms.
Wait, what's Zywoo up to? Why does it look like he wants to fight? He wants to peek in. That's the end of him. They are taking a couple of extra confident moves.
Yeah, well, Mezzy will have
آره
one here.
دقیقاً خیلی وقتا اون چیزی که زیر مینیمپ می‌نویسن کالاتی که پلیرها میگن نیست.
But they have still got the bomb under CT control.
You know Rops is the B lurk. Vitality knows Soulfly is still alive. You know the other two were towards A. Now it's about trying to isolate these fights together.
شما تو میراج بری کالاتای زیر مینیمپی رو ببینی مثلا نمیفهمی دلپنگ کجاه، چه میدونم فارست کجاه، ادوارد کجاه. فکر نکنم اینا رو بزنه اون زیر.
Not messing around. Feels impossible here for Robs. A nice jiggle to bait out Wogsig's shot. Closes the gap. An underhand flash and confirms it's behind the box. Zentara's hiding in plain sight, hanging out with Treebeard. And so it will be the third. A golf clap from Cluj Napoca.
So Zayu ends the half with 19. His teammates have 12 in total. Well, other than Flamesy, his RApTOR and Apex have 12 in total, and then Flamesy has 15.
همونم فالکونز چجوری؟
فالکونز
اخیراً با تایتل زده؟
much more than you would expect on a T side. Now it's just about closing up shop and getting us to the final best of 3 of the day. Furia versus the Mongols.
Furia coming into that one as favourites?
Oh, for sure.
For sure, for sure?
Yeah, the world number 2. The Mongols are still... look, they didn't win a series in Krakow, but this is still early days with Cobra Zero, and seems like Mara's plan is to peak to the majors. They've had some practice after Krakow. So, yeah, it's crazy to think. Seems like they're allergic to it at the best of times. But, all right, we've swapped the sides and we've got the time ticking down. Let's get this likely final half underway. Two Berettas for Zayu.
آره ما بهش بلست باونسی بلست دادن رژیم تو
For Mezzi, T-side buy has a couple of smokes.
همونی که چیز تیم جیمینا قهرمان شده اینجوری که گفتی نمی‌دونستم فالکونز وایتوی زده
Apex dispatched for a disruptive presence in the connector.
خیلی مخوف داره بازی می‌کنه.
There's going to be contact. There's going to be friction. Flamesy positioned to receive. Apex hoping to go overlooked. Now the standoff begins. Who moves first?
Biggest problem for this is Aurora, they have a plan, right? This is just to fan out across the map and see if there's any aggression and then look for the finish together. Like this util that they've invested, it's for a reason.
Yeah.
So if Magic goes down, that full belt that you see gone and the whole round has to change. They haven't gotten anything just yet.
Now they start their move. Flamesy ready to hit that first headshot on the clear of Woxic. Keep your eye on Madja. Flamesy gets spotted out. Nips away, that sound cue baits them in. Nice from Apex, but Madja lives on, gets that trade. Down he goes, down go the nades. Game plan scrapped. And a 3-on-3. Finishing B, Mezzi's got flashes as well. Oh, this could set up Zayu perfectly. Perfect Molotov, though, flashes him into Zentara's Glock. Team Flash delays him, but now they're on the back foot here. Rob's detached. Coming in from the short side will swing open the door. Wicardia jiggles it out safely, gets and confirms the location of these last two. They'll triple swing him. Mezzi just stuck in the mud. There's that first bullet connected, and a must-win pistol being set for collection.
یه فیلیک بزن راستیه رو بکش یه فیلیک. نه استیل فلای.
He's going to play it by the book here.
If the sides were reversed, right, if Vitality had the 9-3 on the CT half, and now Aurora's chance to defend, it's open.
قبلا داشتیم برای آروبیس تنها مپی بودی که هیولی ترور سایت بوده.
This is exactly that.
حالا الان من اخیراً دیگه بررسیش نکردم ببینم وضعیت سیتی تروریست چه جوریه ولی فکر کنم اونم سیتی سایت شده باشه. وسطش خیلی میرفت سیتی اسم می‌کنه.
Nice one. And we remember the Aurora comeback versus Astralis on Dust 2, 10-2 down, and they were able to pull it off. But again, it's the T side of Overpass, notoriously, say, the hardest in Counter-Strike to get a boatload of rounds, and well, Vitality made it look easy thanks to Zayu. Some good teamwork to grab that one. 9-4, forced by Vitality. Aurora win this, can become 9-6 pretty quickly. Still a long way up for the jump MP9 with Apex. Give it a go, and that'll be that. Zayu and Mezzi can take the short space, double nades in Con.
The
only one over towards A with the Famis.
Guaranteed to fall to Soulfly in that endeavor. He's gotten away. He's gotten away.
مثلا هنوزم تی سایدده ولی فکر کنم مثلا بهتر شده حداقل اگه هنوزم تی سایدد باشه فکر کنم یه خورده بالانس‌تر شده.
Ooh, okay. Zentara's position has been triangulated.
Bit of a standoff right now. Flames, you'll prepare for contact. RApTOR will get out of there through long. So he gets to reset.
And they'll have to account for his position whereabouts now. Flamesy's going to be hearing all of this.
Yeah,
a little bit too much noise made.
Yeah, way too much noise made. He knows exactly what's going on.
Yeah, and they're going to have an extra man over here. Short flash for the low HP Zywa. This is actually really a nice idea from Apex, but Zywa's not interested.
Flamesy's playing for info. He's going to push down behind it. It's all going to go.
See you later.
Being okay.
See you later. Now the monster flash does work out. Oh, he hit one. He did on the fadeaway. Puts Woxic on 10 HP. The man's a dead man, crouching. Vitality, no pistol.
گفتم راند برگشت. بازم نشد که بشه.
Also, one of the crazy things with watching a lot of Vitality in recent times is the amount of eco victories. I understand that one's a force. But we've seen some of their rounds that they should never be winning. Oh, look how easy this one comes in, the cheeky, but that's all it is. Flamesy plays for info at the perfect time, right? Here's those steps. They understand they need to play for info. He's jiggling. Rops is there as a safety net. He takes the risk, finds the gap, confirms it's B. Good output from everybody there.
سایدت لزوما مثلا موقعی که انقدر اختلافش کم باشه دیگه حسابش نمی‌کنن. مثلا تی سایدت مال وقتیه که 60-40 میشه یهو. اون آنوبیسه اصلا خیلی وحشه. اون که فکر کنم 70-30 بود. چند بود اولیه؟ در سرویس.
I think it's fun to watch a team play near perfect.
ترور قشنگ زور میگفت. دیکتاتوری را مینداخت.
where a lot of people got bored because the outcome was essentially a certainty.
MP9
was a little bit of a problem because if you're watching a competition and you already feel like you know who's going to win, and then that continues to happen time and time and time again, it just reinforces that. But seeing them do...
I mean, these are masters of their craft.
Oh, yeah. And they've refined the details of the game, right? Maybe they're not...
He's dead. What? Gets away with it. Apex, double nade, blocked on short. You've already taken heavy licks.
Oh,
but they thought about that, Chad, and that's why they flashed.
Every detail in play. After a step taken too far.
Seriously, I mean, I am always in awe.
Yeah, I think that's the best word for it. Well, you have to finish B, boys. Flamesy's low, Mezzy here. You get past Mezzy, you're in.
So another.
And your choice is force buy again or eco for the last.
مثلا انگلا مهمه فاصله بام سایت ها مثلا مهمه.
If this was a pug, you'd force.
اینکه مثلا ترور راحت تر حمله کنه به بام سایت مهمه که سیتی راحت تر بتونه دفاع بکنه. این همه مهم. کدوم یکی بیشتره راحت تره.
$1.25 million the prize pool for this event.
And I think if you want to continue the legacy building,
چیکار کردم برابر شد. آنوبیس قدیم یه پنجره داشت میپرید پایین به سمت وسط یه پنجره داشت. خب این پنجره توی خود راهرو وسط مثلا سمت ترور میومدی یه ذره میرفتی جلوتر وسط و راست یه پنجره بود میپرید پایین میفتاد تو اون واتر. موقعی که عوضش کردن اونو بستن این سوراخ اومده جلوی دابل دور وسط از سمت سیتی که میای در دو قلو داره روبروی اونه. بعد سیتی ها موقعی که مثلا بیان مثلا اسنایپر مخصوصا بیاد قشنگ استرز رو میبینه دقیق میبینه استرز رو. خیلی واسه خیلی اوپیه. استرز رو میبینه در حالیه که از وسط خطر خاصی تهدیدش نمیکنه. فقط باید آیتم بزنه. واسه همین زور سیتی زیاد شد یه خورده. به اول راندا سیتی خیلی خوب میتونه ازش خوب استفاده کنه.
Vitality in the right place. Good flashes, really good flashes. That's the dead man. Nice opening, lovely from Aurora. They found the less guarded site and they've got access.
Oh, save. They've had a bunch of these now. You go back to Inferno, they had a handful too. It's thinking, okay, boys, whatever the recipe for success is in these rounds, can we just bring that to the gun rounds?
آره دیگه اینا لزوما میگم یه خورده سیتی سایدت باشه. میگن راستو مثلا جالب بهتون بگم که اصلا چی شد که سیتی سایدت شد بچه‌ها به خاطر اینکه زاویه درو عوض شد.
well, we have these lighter guns, we have to take more of a chance, and when you do, it pays off. And I think that is probably going to be one of the positives that Aurora can take away. Let's look to replicate not the round, but the feeling of how we approach the round.
Yeah, right.
Like in terms of feeling a little bit more free, because you're in a hole at the moment.
قبلا در اینجوری بودن.
I don't think it's going to inspire the confidence necessary to draw the game back for the victory, but
ویژنشون عوض شد.
Definitely a nice little nugget to add onto the board.
And you know, I think you're right. There are lessons, as Majas, the word came out of Majas' mouth in the pre-match interview. Or learning, I think he said, but there's definitely some key takeaways from what has worked from Aurora and what hasn't.
And everyone's been susceptible to those pounce plays from Aurora in this. It was the B defense of Apex and Flamesy. It was the A play as well with the Mezzi and Rops getting overrun. And now it's Rops and Zywoo, and Zywoo's been almost immortal. He's racked up 7 deaths now, 21 and 7.
Tara's aggressive pathing. Head-to-head, Soulfly versus Rops, and despite the headshot, it's not enough for the finish. Smoke break's gonna come a little late. Wicardia has passed.
Rops will need a turtle up somewhere now. One smoke divider coming out with 1:20 on the clock. Peppers away, Wicardia tries his luck too. Zywoo forward of this, and without too much support, it's just Rops on the jump spot for long right now. Zywoo might have to do an awful lot on his own.
You want hell of a flash. Rops could set Zywoo up for a crazy spray. That was the flash. Has to do it without now. Good flash back. Team kill from Wicardia. Still though, they've opened up the site. You've taken down the biggest threat. And here comes the second biggest threat in rotation. I'll give this one a look though. Ooh, info and a smoke bank. Surely not. Vitality are locked out. You really would? Turns the flash. Easy pickings. Wicardia finds himself a double.
Nice round.
Just the two of them.
Yeah, nice round for him. Taking teammates, but one is the scalps on the other side, because now you will have to take an eco off your Vitality. Okay, some resistance. This is it. They're not just rolling over and dying. I like to see this from Aurora. They're up against it. It was essentially going to be force buying out the game. Apex takes the chance. Flamesy, I think, was still on the reload. It was a little bit later through the smoke, and they just got separated there, so they will be down to just a couple of pistol upgrades. I said that Vitality have a bit of a proficiency when it comes to the ecos, but you have to hope that Aurora walk into the stack, or you can maneuver them in this one. And right now, stacking over towards B for a Pompey play. I've just got other things to say. Up through connector, quite confidently the in-game leader.
خودمونم شاید بذاریم حالا این 2-3 روز بذار ببینیم چطور پیش میره.
They are terrified of Flamesy's con. Consistent game plan to HE that.
I don't think there is a
سوبی رو بگیرن نمیشه ریتیک کرد.
inkling of anybody on Vitality that this game
Inferno
can get out of control with this scoreline.
All
you need is 2 more rounds on the CT side of Overpass, and you know individuals with a multi-kill can win you those rounds. It's not going to come on this one, as Wicardia continues to shoot hard. They'll peel them apart one by one. This is good. Taking a couple of confident building frags right now. Wicardia and Zentara. Zentara's at one point sitting at very, very few kills. Got himself up to 12. So he's at the top with Wicardia now as just the USP. Dealt with a Flamesy.
Ooh, sounded like a couple of extra bullets were used there.
Now, Rops will be able to buy the AWP and drop that to Zywoo. So that's fortunate, otherwise it would have been possible. And yeah, Zywoo has been thinking that. It has been pretty easy for him so far, but he's iced off at 21 kills. So 41 between Zywoo and Flamesy combined.
اگر قرصی اینو من میدونم.
The rest of his team.
سوال جالب بود اتفاقا که دوپینگ محسوب میشه اینجور چیزا یا نه. اگر شما مجوز تایید شده فکر کنم پزشک مسابقات هم چیزی رو داشته باشی میتونی مثلا داروتو مصرف کنی. به جز این داروی دیگه هم داریم.
Every round there's a different plan. You can see this
که
boost
مثلا
here is not going to
سطح
necessarily
استرس رو
bear
کم
fruit, but
میکنن، باعث افزایش تمرکز
you need to fight
میشن.
on long will.
Double man setup, Apex here.
در صورتی که اینا مثلا برای سلامت خود پلیر باشه،
Rob's up close.
بازیکن میتونه مصرف کنه. در غیر این صورت اگر پزشک تایید نده رد میشه.
The AWP instead is posted for the party peaks. Rob's ready for this head-to-head, and Tares loses his. Is that the first? And this house of cards will come tumbling down, or is there a clawback here from Woxic? Does find the rebuttal.
الان مچ کامل تی سایده که خب
just locked away. Ricardia catches the timing, a dream timing. Apex going to be pretty frustrated about that one.
Well, that one's going to tip the tables back now in the favor of Aurora. A chance for another round. After this one just becomes a 3-round game. The money won't be there for a Vitality buy again.
Yeah,
this is a big one.
It looks scary.
Okay.
از یه بازی بچه نمیشه بفهمید مثلا مپ تی ساید یا سی ساید.
They're going to finish B. Soulfly versus Mezzi. Mezzi down after one. Important from Ricardia. Commitment in. There's only Flamesy here, and whoa, he has just got a lot to contend with. A missed shot from Zywoo's sniper. How many chances is he going to get? Madja takes a bit of damage. Woxic the same, but bringing down Flamesy has surely secured the round. It would have got really awkward. He hits that 7 seconds on the clock.
I don't know if they get to it in time.
Yeah, that would have been a round-defining shot through the wall.
All right, well, Zywoo hanging around. Ricardia already hunting. Woxic the
راست
same.
یک تو CS2 نیومد. خیلی خواست گیبن.
There is a kit in water, but there you go. Zywoo wants to retain the AWP, doesn't want to try and give nasty defuse a go and lose it all. All right, fair's fair, Aurora. I like what I'm seeing.
This is solid.
Turning it no longer into a formality, making Vitality work for this. That's not how you spell Subaru.
Apex has got fans all around the world.
زانتارس پیک دیگه ذره توضیحات بده.
They just express it in a very unique way.
سلام کارم. چطوری خوش اومدی؟
All right, well, Xtaz takes a timeout with some boys. Time to pull up the socks. It won't be full buy into this one. The max loss bonus in play.
ساید. همین داستو.
3400 injected into the next. Keep yourself just over that 1K mark, and you should be all good for Zywoo. Maybe a little bit more, so you can get out the AWP if you do lose this one. Now, this is still a threatening round. So MP9s, 257s, the WP carried through.
And some cracks in the CT side out of Vitality. This is their pick. You'd think the hard work on the T side would have made this a quick trip.
And all started with that essential force buying out the game for Aurora pop onto A. Zywoo really not putting up much resistance.
Another perk to this MP9 jump spot is that you're safe from that barrage of nades. Is Apex going to be trying to shoot with this jump spot?
Definitely take a little burst, but just one. You can't
but then they look at him. Then they look at him. They turn around, and then the short players push. Oh, it's team play on display. They lose both of them. Soulfly and Zentaris distracted by a pesky jumping SMG. Now you run into the AWP. Haven't forgotten about the same Zywoo AWP. Never mind. Madja, that's naughty. Catches Robs. Looking the wrong way. Lackadaisical.
So they want to rotate back to B. Woxic and Connector. Maybe Madja has different plans. Take stock right now. You've still got to smoke a molly. You can use this. If Ricardia can get past Apex at long, there's a chance. But Zywoo has the line covered for now.
Ricardia's waiting for the commands.
You're hoping that they over-rotate back to B. All fires off.
And then you think you've got a gap. Okay. Jumps up over. Apex should be set to collect it. Ricardia! Oh, he's done well. Adjust just in time. Averts disaster. A must-win round now with 25 seconds on the clock. You've got to commit now. Madja's the first. Why is he the front man? Needs some support. Angle perfect for Flamesy. Just a little gap in the smoke, and he's having his way with them. Woxic in a 10-second situation. He hasn't got time to plant. It's fallen through the fingers of Aurora. ZywOo finally gets the fifth frag of the round, but everyone else, they contribute, and the start of that round put a massive smile on Apex's face.
I think X-Taz would be happy with that as well. Take the time out. All right, boys, enough's enough. Let's get it done. Have a conversation about this. What can we buy behind the AWP? And
خیلی جدا بچه‌ها قشنگ بود. فقط داشت میترسوند یارو.
takes a risk. This one from Apex Scrappy. That should have been where the round was done. It does come down to Flamesy.
I would not be surprised if a lot of teams start throwing that in their like half-bite repertoire.
Just need to have a couple of ideas, don't you? B-rush.
Okay, pace. I like the audacity. It is kind of feast or famine though. ZywOo's got protection. Oh, goes bringing the fight, jumps into the jaws. Wicardia pushed across the jail. Until to flush him out. Flamesy will punish. Do you keep committing? Centaurus is abandoning ship.
برم
امیر رضایی بعدت بشم خوش اومدی. Again, Wicardia taking that risk, taking that space. You can see they're liberated by the idea that this one is feeling over, and that's given them at least a life, at least in some circumstances. Centaurus now through connector. Might be able to catch the timing on RApTOR here.
Yeah, it's certainly a possibility. Depends how diligent he is on his clears, which, as we know, Centaurus, he's usually pretty dialed in. Strange's jump stopped the clear. Oh, it does have easy pickings. Good find. Centaurus has opened up the avenue into B.
So did find value on the low HP. Flamesy committed now. Here they come.
From Centaurus on that low HP, and now the B side should be theirs. As he scarpers over, a dump of util. Aurora for their 9th. Looking set. They back away.
Apex is on A.
So they just kind of said to Flamesy, you can handle this, you'll be fine.
Try and hold on to it the best you can. We'll be playing for the next round in this one. A laboured from both of them there, but Magic will get the better of the kid. Is 9 now.
Credit where it's due to Centaurus, gets output out of that low HP, brought down low right at the start of things.
A little bit audacious from ZywOo, wasn't it? Hit that first shot, lusting for the finish, and yet...
I will say though, like seeing him go for those kind of plays, it does tell me like there's a chapter in the ZywOo book that we still haven't started yet.
Yeah, I think that's it, right? They know the output that this guy can deliver. I think it's with the flair, and if he pulls off a maneuver like that, he gets everyone out of their chairs. Now, with those saves, they can drop it all. So we can go again, Alex.
Maybe he's going to play a little more reserve this time?
I would say so. It's gotten much closer. After a 9-3 T half, it's a 12-9 score.
90 rounds. Usually that just means one thing.
So if anything right now, I'm more impressed with run boost over the Flames.
Okay. Flamesy getting tricky with it. Little Cirque du Soleil moment.
They're trying to catch them on this scale as well, so... Going to take their time. Don't want to go down to a potential boost into Con. Yeah, Vitality's first half was great. For me, it's about staying in it mentally for Aurora, right? Where
دقت زایبو چقدر تو بازی کیل گرفته بود، فرق زده بود، فلیمزی یه بالاتر زده. دقت کردی؟
I mean, it is a competitive scoreline.
بقیه رو مثلا 7
However, you do need 3 more in a row, otherwise Jacob Pimvinicky is going to say this is a cosmetic comeback.
بازی تقریبا 2-5. اصلا من سوال داریم 2-4.
This all comes down to timing for RApTOR.
Centaurus versus RApTOR on head-to-head, and it's Centaurus that rips off RApTOR's. Quiet game from RApTOR on map 2. Jump peek at your own peril. Mezzi's already got across the sight line. They're going to double up on long side. No, he's going to jiggle bait. Okay. Centaurus gets spotted. Maybe doesn't clear. But it's Centaurus we're talking about. Double from him. Easy pickings for Wicardia, set up for success by Madja, and now we have just 2 rounds separating Aurora from overtime.
I think because of how dire this was.
اینجوری آرورا ورق و برگردون زد تو صورت یارو.
Yes.
Right,
نه تنها ایپکس مرد هیچ کاری نکرد، مزی هم به کشتن داد. جاشو فهمیدن دیگه موقع که
they can bring this all the way back. right? That in itself is a massive conversation. But for the future of Aurora in arena games, they may have found the secret sauce by accident. Vitality putting them in this position and the way they've responded to this. So now we have a real game on our hands, just 2 rounds.
یه پلیری دیگه نمیشه.
You see another X has timeout right now, just to talk about the money. Because you could drop 2 more M4s, but that would leave you in a really tough position for the final. So I think you do another partial buy with an idea, like we saw with the jumping MP9. And then you full buy for the final round of regulation and hope that you can get it done there and then.
Yeah, check this round recap. If you didn't catch that first half, Vitality really did look untouchable. In fact, Zywoo and Robs, or Zywoo and Flames were for the majority of that first half. Aurora have shown serious tenacity, and look at this from Xantares. I think you're right about that switch being flipped. Aggression, the name of the game. He's already breaking into this site. Put down now. Hang on a second. They've lost 2. Xantares watching, biting their fingernails. Is this how your quarterfinal ends? Is this how your trip to Romania ends? Messi forced away by the flame, brought down by Ricardia. Solid util. Messi from Apex dipping away. Bomb was spotted on the short side. Madja not known to be an AWPer. Has a Tech 9 on his hip. Woxic equipped with that AK-47. Nice from Apex peeking in. Lovely double from Woxic and a flying MP9 that does not achieve its goal. Zywoo with the potential clutch close. And Ricardia's looking the wrong way. It's Madja versus Zywoo. This is a mismatch. Madja has 30 points of health. Zywoo's not looking though. Madja's gone down and a clutch too close. The sigh of relief. Aurora got sweat on the brow of Vitality there. Hard work, grit and determination from Aurora in that second half.
You have to sing the praises for not just rolling over and dying in this one. Their map doesn't go their way. Vitality taking out 13-8 and then in overpass. They are down, they are out. It was a 9-3 scoreline, but they worked hard to make Vitality sweat. And to be a formality to pull themselves together to find the close. This is the 18th consecutive top 4 placing for Vitality now. The legacy building continues. Now take on the winner of Furia and Mongols, which is coming up next. Zywoo in some ferocious form. Flamesy looking hot. That is a 2-0. They are looking to run the playoff gauntlet. This is the team meant to be contending for the trophies, and they've got another one in their sights here in Cluj.
Yeah, it actually looks like we're going to be seeing Flamesy chatting right next to that trophy that they've got their eyes on Sunday. This is just the start of the Vitality project here in Cluj Napoca. James Banks with Flamesy.
A strong performance here for Vitality, but almost a comeback on that final map from Aurora. You guys...
We played that decisive.
اون فکر نکنم لازم باشه، ولی خب برم بگیرم که فردا برعکس عمل نکنه که انرژیمون بدتر بیفته پایین. حله این یه دونه بازی رو با عزتون اسکیپ بکنیم. آلتادین دارم همون شده جو باورت نشه. خالیه آلتادین. اینو معجزه نمیکنه، کمک میکنه. یه چیزی میخوام که من نیافتم، چون اسم دارم تبم میکنم، داره میگیره منو. آقا دیفنم قلقله کردم، حفظم این راه رو. نه چیزی میخوام از درون بزنه جلوشو بگیره. بقیه جاها هم داره ریه میام اسم کنم یه خورده داره میزنه. آره آقا یه بازی دیگه امشب هست، به بزرگی خودتون ببخشید ما دیگه نمیریم. یه دونه بازی و بازی فیوریا هست با مغولا. فردا یه دونه سر ساعت چیز میایم، ساعت 6:30 شروع میشه، ما طرفای 6 دیگه لایو میشیم. عرض کنم که تا تاش هستیم دیگه، 2 تا بازی پشت سر هم. بله دوستتون دارم بچه‌ها، دمتون گرم. امیدوارم که کلی اتفاقای خوب واسه هممون رقم بخوره، تک تک مردم ایران. روزای خوب و قشنگ برسه لبخند و خوشحالی واقعی بیاد روی لبای مردم. دمتون گرم، مرسی که امروز همراه ما بودین، استریمو تماشا کردین، نگاه کردین که امیدوارم یه ذره تونسته باشم چی بگم حواستون رو پرت کرده باشم. 2% از این حال و هوا تونسته باشم آورده باشمتون بیرون. مواظب خودتون باشین. دمتون گرم، خیلی دوستتون دارم. مرسی از حضور گرمتون، مرسی از نگاه قشنگتون. مواظب خودتون باشید شدید. بچه‌ای هم که دونیت کردید دمتون گرم، خیلی ممنونم، خیلی متشکرم. فردا طرفای ساعت 6 میبینم. دوستتون دارم شدید به مدت مدید. شب بخیر. فعلا تا فردا غروب. خداحافظ.